your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Angie Collins in Heber Springs,
Live from
Michelle
the
Herring in Whitehall,
TruService
or
Credit
Jonathan
Union
Stone in Lodo
Studios.
today.
This is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Acuff off a feed from Wagner. Pull up at the foul line. No good. Brazil keeps it alive. They bat it out. And Darius buries a three. Acuff from the top of the circle ties the game. Acuff to the rim, lays it up and in, and gets the basket. He also drew the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. It's an and one. Arkansas is up 6, and Acuff could make it 7 with 5:02 to play. Shot clock is at 10. Darius around Johnston, scoops in the lane and rattles home for Darius, 31 for Acuff. Hogs up to the minute 40 to go. Darius left side, gonna launch a three, and he knocked it down. Dagger, 55 seconds to go. They drop it into Martinez. Martinez across the timeline, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Johnston heaves it at the horn. It's no good. And for the second straight year, the Razorbacks are headed for the Sweet 16. San Jose bound. The Razorbacks knock off High Point 94-88. It was a thriller, but the Razorbacks win for the 28th time, and they survive and advance late at night in Portland, Oregon.
Players to be empowered, they got to know that there's a commitment to the players. We have that at Arkansas, and you have that at High Point. They are committed, which is why you have a chance to win championships. If they're not committed, and now we got to be good stewards of what they give to us, and we got to make good choices. But if we don't need to be a steward because we don't have enough to be the steward they're with. Or you're not going to have enough guys to do something. And I said, and I bragged on High Point because they have a president that is about those students. That's everything they do is about those students. You know what? They're empowered. They're students. Flew them out in a plane. How many came on a private plane, chartered? I'm going to ask him, can he charter me somewhere? But again, I love to see it, and it proves my point. Administrations win championships. Coaches win games. In this era of NIL and all the other stuff, I'm telling you, if you're not totally into it and they're not committed, you're not winning now.
What a weekend. What's up, everybody? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin with you for Out of Bounds on this great Monday. And it'll be a great weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. A lot of games to rehash, including Arkansas's nail-biter over High Point. I tell you what, those kids can play at High Point. They were quick. They could get after it. That Rob Martin may have been the fastest guard, quickest guard I've seen Arkansas play this year.
They showed it over the course of 2 games that they belong. And, of course, they got the upset, what was considered the upset first game, and they were going back and forth with Arkansas the entire time. So, going into the game, when you see the seating from a fan standpoint, you see the seating, and you think about, okay, Arkansas is the higher seed. They should handle this team. It doesn't work like that in tournament play. These teams show up, as it's been said many times, they have nothing to lose. They're in a tournament. They're trying to prove that they belong. High Point is that team that proved that they belong.
Yeah, I thought Arkansas, ironically, it was defense at the end that got Arkansas the victory. Well, Acuff just clutch shots. That three-pointer was huge he hit at the top of the key. But Arkansas got a couple of created a couple turnovers, got a couple of steals. Billy Richmond, huge plays down the stretch, getting a couple of steals. And that was the difference of the ball game, because in a track meet like this, when you get a stop, that's huge. It's a bonus, because neither team could stop either one of them. I mean, it was just back and forth. For a stretch, it was Acuff layup, Martin layup, Acuff layup, Martin layup. They didn't have an answer. And Arkansas tried everything with Rob Martin. They put Acuff on. Well, they started with Malik Thomas on him, got in foul trouble, had to take him off of him. They tried DJ on him. That didn't work. They tried Acuff on him. That didn't work. Hell, they even tried Billy Richmond a couple of times, and that didn't work. He was just way too fast for Billy, and Billy seems like he can guard anybody. But it was, man, I walked away so impressed with that High Point team, but very impressed with Arkansas and Acuff. We have talked so much about him all season long and the accolades, and they're all deserving. But you look at the NCAA tournament now, and some of these fabulous freshmen, and Acuff is still alive. You look at DeBansa. He couldn't carry the team by himself. He had to have some help. He didn't get enough help. He scored over 30 points, but he's done. Same thing with Peterson, DP at Kansas yesterday. He struggled. Finally got it going a little bit in the second half, but he couldn't do it. Acuff got it done. It's just a testament to – and it also helps when you have the ball in your hand like that as a true point guard. You look at, the great guard at Illinois, still alive. Arizona's got a great freshman guard, still alive, of course. Houston, great. Flemings, Kingston Flemings, is that right? He's still alive. Those freshman guards, they can help you a lot. And sometimes it's a little more difficult when you got a great player and the ball's not always in his hands, and you got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. Teams can try to do a lot of things to take it out of their hands. And look, they tried. They tried with Acuff. They would do a little double and come at him with it, and sometimes he would dribble around it and get to the basket. Sometimes he would find the open guy and make him pay that way. It's crazy the types of things teams are doing defensively to try to disrupt Acuff, and he's still getting his every single game.
Well, what's been said about him all season is he makes the right play, whether the right play is for him or the next player. And that's the greatness that's in his game. It's not just about scoring. It's about the assist. It's about making the right play, getting the easy shot, getting his shot off when he needs to, getting somebody else involved. And he's just a complete player on that offensive end. And so that's where the strength of his game is. And you can see that he's somebody that works hard, and he's going to continue to add to that game, whether that is on the offensive end or becoming an even more complete player and being a better defender.
Mm-hmm. It was good to see the three-point shot fall for Arkansas. That was huge for them, and it's going to be huge Thursday night when they take on Arizona. Arkansas was 9 of 16 from the three-point line. In the second half, they were 5 of 8, 62.5% for the game. They were 56% from the three-point line. And against Arizona, scouting them last night, you're going to have some opportunities for threes. If you run your offense, dribble, drive, penetrate, kick it out, you're going to have some opportunities for three-pointers. Arkansas is going to have to knock those down against Arizona. Of course, we're going to talk a lot about Arizona today and the Sweet 16, the teams that are left. How's your bracket? Got to brag, this may be my best bracket ever. I felt like it was going to be chalk, and for the most part it is. I've got 13 of 16 teams in the Sweet 16.
Now, that's big because usually average is around 11 if you're doing good.
I missed on Texas. Did not see this coming from Texas. I missed on Iowa, although I did have Florida losing early, so that doesn't really hurt me. I didn't have Florida in the Final Four. I kind of kicked myself because I thought about it. I just didn't think Iowa had the enough firepower to knock them off. Turns out that Iowa defense was pretty darn good and helped shut down Florida, and their bigs were just good enough and just helped keep the big guys for Florida from dominating the game. And then I missed on Kansas St. John's, and I took St. John's. I picked Kansas because of DP. I thought Peterson would get it done. He would because St. John's offense isn't great defensively, very good, but I thought he would be able to score enough and help Kansas get that victory. Almost. That was one of the great games over the weekend. So many great games, buzzer beaters, and just down to the wire. It was a fantastic weekend. It really was. Thursday through Sunday, it was just drama all throughout the tournament. Had some blowouts, of course, but there were a lot of games down to the wire. And I think this weekend's going to be great. I'm not upset that there's not a mid-major in there or there's not a great Cinderella story, although I think Texas is a Cinderella story from seeding and from their journey playing on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 3 games in, 5 days. That's a pretty remarkable story, 11 seed getting into the Sweet 16. And I think Iowa, anytime a 8 or a 9 beats a 1, it's a great story. You know, it was like Arkansas a couple of years ago when they beat Kansas. That's an awesome story. No one's predicting that. There's very few people out there expecting that one to lose and not even make it to the Sweet 16. And so I think those are 2 really good stories. If you want to join us, we'll take some phone calls. 661-1037, 661-1037. We got the Middleton Heat in there. Text line blowing up already. Let me start there. Oh, by the way, Diamond Hogs take 2 out of 3, and they will be back home tomorrow night taking on UCA, and then they have Florida this weekend. We'll have Matt Jones from WholeHogSports.com at 3:30. Joe Klein's coming in, so we'll get to talk a lot of basketball with him. JW says, Wes, I stand corrected on the baseball team, but there's a lot left to see in SEC play, but much better than I thought. Basketball, you think we can defend the Cats like Utah State? Let's see here. Basketball-wise,
Utah State did do a great job of defending and played a really good game.
They did. Undersized. Those guys were, aggressive defensively. Their position was good at times, very good at times. That's what concerns me because Arkansas's post defense, they don't get it. They don't understand positioning. Joe has pointed it out. Joe Klein has pointed out so many times. They'll let a guy just run to the block and post up, and by then it's too late. It's night. It's over. Throw it into him, layup. So I don't think Arkansas. They're going to have just a huge effort from Malik Ewan and Nick Pringle. They're going to need all those fouls because you look at Arizona, they go the foul line. They went I think they had 27 free throws against Utah State. They made them pay. And Arkansas is going to, they're going to foul. I mean, no doubt about it. They're going to need Brazil. Brazil needs to have 10 defensive rebounds minimum because Arizona pounds the glass. They made Utah State pay time and time again. That was the difference in the game. Free throws and offensive rebounds. And Arkansas has been poor interior defense and on the glass. You look at their losses against good teams, big teams. It's the script is written. We know the issue. And for it to change, Brazil has to play phenomenal defensive rebounds all the time. Malik Ewan has to get defensive rebounds. They just got to keep Arizona off the glass. And just don't get killed inside on post defense. And then to win the game, that's just to be in the game. They got to do that. To win it, you're going to shoot the ball really well from the outside. They got some size. They got the shot blocker, the big guy, Rivas. Acuff, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to finish for him inside, for the entire team. You're going to have to hit some shots. Now, here's the good thing. Arizona's defense, they're susceptible to the three-point line. And if Arkansas shoots like they did against High Point and at other times throughout the season, they got a shot to win this thing. But they got to shoot well, got to rebound, and got to break even, got to play some kind of post defense. Baseball team, here's the crazy thing. No team in America scored more runs than Arkansas last week. We were down on the hitting yesterday, and, they just so many times they had an opportunity to score a run and just didn't do it, and disappointing loss. Anytime you get a chance to sweep on the road, you want to get that sweep, especially against a bad team. Although South Carolina is not a bad team, they're just not a good team. And now they don't have a head coach, interim head coach, but their pitching's good. I watched their guys throw, and they got some nice starting pitchers. And the bullpen, had a couple guys come out of the bullpen that were okay. But this is just a average South Carolina team. And I sure was wanting that sweep yesterday. But, look, you got to give them credit. They are an SEC team with SEC hitters, and they've got pride, and they came out and played much better yesterday and got the victory after handing one to Arkansas on Saturday. You see what happens when we didn't make the game a track meet? Whenever we controlled the tempo, we were able to get back and defend. High played great. Yeah, I tell you this. At the end, we saw this. When Arkansas made it a possession game, the last 3 minutes, I would say, they slowed things down and just went possession, possession, possession. That's when Arkansas got a couple stops. And that was the difference in the game.
Well, they were playing to their strength at the time because they had the size over High Point, and that's how you play. You play that half-court game, and you just kick the ball around and play to your strength.
Yeah. But the point is, maybe they should have started that earlier.
Well, they like to play. They like to play fast. So, and that's a strength for them also. But their strength within that matchup was their inside play, slow it down, play the half-court game, which they have the ability to play either way. But what they really like to do is get up and down the court.
I thought the first half the bigs were disappointing. The bigs did not play big, and I even suggested go small. Because the Arkansas's bigs were losing the matchup with the High Point speed. Their guys were quicker, going to the basket around the Arkansas big guys. On the other end, the Arkansas big guys weren't making them pay. They weren't playing big. They weren't getting offensive rebounds. They weren't getting, easy shots at the basket. Sometimes when they did, they weren't converting. And I'm like, look, if the bigs aren't going to come through, you got to get them out and go small with the four guards and one big guy, either Brazil or Ewan. Don't play them both together because they're not making High Point pay. Second half, I thought Malik Ewan played really well.
He did.
He
and
finally figured out, you know what, I'm the biggest guy on this court. They can't stop me.
That's what's been encouraging over these couple of games and going back to tournament play, the way that he's played here recently. But as far as taking one of those bigs out of lineup, you can do it, but you're playing in a six-man rotation for the most part. So they're having to deal with that and adjust to playing with the rotation that they have, and it makes it a little bit more difficult at this point.
They did it for about 2 minutes in the first half, went with the four guards. And I say guard, Billy Richmond, because even though he's a wing, but they went with those four and just either Ewan or Brazil on the court for just a short amount of time. Second half, they did it a lot more. But like you said, because of the rotation, you had to give one of those guards a break and bring in both the bigs and just rotate it. But played a little bit smaller in the second half and had some good success with that. Update on Pringle, everything we were told. Trey Schapp was there, talked to Pringle. Pringles thought he was ready to go and wanted to go on the game Saturday. Held him out, just waiting on that hamstring. I got to think with another week of rehab, of rest, that hamstring's got to be ready to go by Thursday. You got to have him. And I think Calipari played it smart and realized with this undersized High Point team, you did not have to have Pringle. Maybe he gambled a little bit, but it paid off. And now you have to have him. You got to play him. That's what my thinking. You have to have Pringle and his 5 fouls, his defense, his size for Arizona. It's going to take everybody against Arizona. Wes, what's up with Knox? Hogs could use him in this game. He has been out from surgery for a while. Coach Calipari, once again last week, mentioned the Final Four if they make it that far. There were those that were there. I saw tweets that saw Knox and felt like he was looking better and better, and threw out the possibility that maybe he could give him a couple of minutes Thursday night. That is not official. This was just from people there that saw him speculating a little bit. And maybe it's one of those kind of like we saw last year in the NCAA tournament when Thero came back and just would give 2, 3, 4 minutes here, 2 or 3 here. Not a focal point of the game, just give you a couple minutes. Not saying it's going to happen, but just reporting what some of the people that were there were speculating.
More bodies you have, the better at this time. And that's if, just having them available is a better option for you. Now, whether you use them or not, whether you have the 6 players and they're playing well enough that there's no need, but just having them available is big for you at this time.
501 asked, why would they let Darius Acuff guard the fastest guy on the court knowing we needed him on offense? I think Darius can run all day long. Would it help his offense if he wasn't guarding a guy like that? Probably. But I think they were desperate. They had tried everybody, and nobody was having any success with him. That's one of those where you're like, maybe, because give High Point credit, what they were running was perfect. They were spreading the court. They had their 2 bigs up at top so that Arkansas's bigs, and those bigs could shoot, so Arkansas's bigs could not go to the basket to block a shot and help out. They had to stay out high in case he decides to kick it out. It was just the perfect offense for what they have, and they did a great job of executing it. But I'm with you at some point. Say, all right, let Acuff rest a little bit on defense, get him off that dude, put somebody else on him, because Acuff's not stopping him anyway. He's getting to the basket, so why does it matter? At least you're saving Acuff's legs. Wish Seeley would have made that one bucket. Yeah, 501, man. He came in. That was on, I think, offensive rebound, put back, and just missed that shot. That would have helped his confidence for sure. Casey's in Benton. What's up, Casey?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I wish Joe was there, but I know y'all can answer this. Joe, I know our big guys are not that great. I love the Razorbacks, have all my life. I watch them die hard in there. But no matter how good or how bad our big guys are, we got to learn to stop the ball coming down the court somewhere. Because once they get by the first line, the bigs come out to help, and everybody's open. And it just seems like it's a recurring problem. I'm going to disregard the High Point game. There wasn't anybody in the gym that's going to guard that guy. I agree. But, Joe, don't you think we need to learn to stop the ball somewhere?
Always.
Yeah.
And they haven't been a good defending team all season. They've had spurts in games where they've defended well, but overall and as a whole, they haven't defended well as a team.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying is when I played 50 years ago, all they told me was get the ball in the middle of the court and go to somebody stops you.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody we got stopping a whole lot.
I would definitely throw out the High Point game and that dude because he was super quick and nobody could stop him.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: Arizona's got some dudes at guard. I mean, Barry's the freshman can go. He's quick. It's going to be a tough matchup. It's not just their bigs. Now Arizona doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but when they do, they've got a couple of guys that can hit it. They're a good team. They're a 1 seed for a reason.
Well, thank you guys. Have a good day.
You bet. Thanks for the call, Casey. TP in Little Rock, West. Joe, I love my Hogs, and it's coaching. But I was screaming at the TV for Acuff to post up that little guy all night long. The team never exposes mismatches. I guess it is what it is. Question of the day is, which Arizona player will have a career night this Thursday? Well, Arkansas does expose mismatches. The mismatch was nobody on their team could stop Darius Acuff, and that's been all season long just about. I mean, when and Calipari said it at the end of the game, give Acuff the ball and go make a play, and we rode him because he delivered time after time after time. That's a mismatch, and so they exposed it. I don't know if I've seen Acuff post up all season long. Some guards.
That's something that he's capable of doing. Matter of fact, there on YouTube, it popped up where some of his high school footage. That's what he was doing quite a bit of.
Posting?
Yeah, high school and AAU play. He was doing quite a bit of that. So he's capable of it. He just hadn't shown it in a Razorback uniform much.
I know, like Cameron Hunter at UCA, got that big body for a guard. They'll post him up. They'll move the bigs out, and let him take a little guard in there and post up. But it was something he's comfortable with because he's done a lot of it throughout his career and in high school. And watching his little brother, Brian Cameron Bede, CB was doing it in the state championship game, trying to post up. I don't know. I don't think I've seen it one time this season, but if it's in his game. But then again, they weren't stopping him anyway. They didn't need to post him up. He's so good with the ball in his hands, getting downhill and finishing at the basket. Career night for somebody at Arizona. Probably the big guy. What's his name? Zivas? Is that his name?
Oh, they got a bunch of them.
I watched him last night and 7'1", 245. He's a load down low, knows how to post up, knows how to use his body. Guys, he's going to be frustrating. There's going to be times where he's just going to get layup after layup, and you're going to be screaming at the TV. Just know it's coming. He is your low post player that just knows how to use his body. Let's see, last night he had is that him? No, that's Zach. That's the wrong team. Krivas. I was saying Zivas. Krivas. He only had 11 points last night? That's all? I thought he had 20-something. Now, he had 14 rebounds, 9 offensive rebounds. But, okay, he'll have a career night. Here's his last few games they list. 11 points, 9 points, 6 points, 7 points, 9 points, 10 points, 13, 12, and 4. He averages this year 10.7. My guess is he'll have 20. Bradley led them in scoring last night. Jaden Bradley, their guard. He had 18. 6 of 16 from the floor. Barry's is their point guard. I like a lot. Braden Barry's a freshman. He averages 16 a game. He had 16 last night. Koa Pete's going to give him problems. He's a power forward, kind of a bulky guy, kind of Boozer-esque, I would say. He had 14 last night, 10 rebounds. Their other kind of forward, Ivan Cherenikov, he had 11, mainly going to the free throw line. He also had 7 rebounds. I got to think Billy's on him, or do you put Koa Pete on or put Billy on Koa Pete, or is Koa Pete too big for Billy? But do you want Brazil on him?
Well, you have to put somebody on him.
I know.
Probably Brazil.
But, man, Pete can drive, and Brazil doesn't know how to play defense, so he'll drive right by Brazil. Maybe he'll use his size.
Just because you start with a certain look doesn't mean that's the look you're going to go with. They'll start it a certain way, and they'll change it if needed.
That Krinichov, I know I'm saying his name wrong. He stays outside a lot. Maybe you put Brazil on him and see what Billy can do on Koa Pete. And no matter the big, whoever the big is, they're going to be on Ivan. No, on the other guy, sorry. Krivas. That's their big guy. So that one for sure we know will be either Ewan or hopefully Pringle can play. We don't have to play Arizona. Arizona has to play us. Hey, look, that's a good point, 901. There are things Arkansas can do offensively to exploit what Arizona does defensively. And while they are big, they're not as quick as Arkansas. I mean, team-wise, like Brazil is quicker than whoever's going to be guarding him. Ewan is going to be quicker than their big guy. Billy's going to be quicker. Acuff Berries, great matchup. Malik Thomas against their player of the year, great matchup. So, yeah, you're going to give up points. It's like Coach Calipari said last week. A field goal's not a touchdown. You're going to give up points, and that's why I tell them with six-man rotation, don't foul. It's okay. You can give up that layup. We don't have to make them earn those 2 points. I don't want you in foul trouble.
You can't afford it.
So don't foul and go score because they're not going to stop us. That's what Arkansas needs to get in, another track meet and put up about 95 points and win at 95-90. Ron's in Morrilton. What's up, Ron?
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, I think whenever we're talking about this game coming up with Arizona, you say, okay, we're going to let somebody have a career night, but we're not going to let two people score that score 16 points a game and try to hold them down, hold two of those guys down. And I think that you've got enough defense to do that. I don't know that we have enough defense to hold, the whole team down, but I think that's the plan that you got to take with this is because, a team as good as Arizona, you just got to take one or two of their players out, and if you can do that, then I think that you're fine with that. So, I think that's probably if I'm making the big buck, Cal, that's probably the what I try to do with this team is like, okay, somebody's going to score 35, but the other guys aren't going to score like they usually do. So I think that's the approach that you have to take when you get in this position because we're not a great defensive team, obviously, but you have to pick and choose. Like you just said, we don't want to let them score. We don't want to foul. But if you have an extra body or two, then you can afford to start fouling. So hopefully Pringle's back. It would be great if Knox could play. I don't see that happening, but anyway. But let somebody have a career night. Just hold a couple of those 16-point guys to 8 apiece, and I think you've done a good job.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ron. Thanks for the call. Kind of like the Florida game. When we were talking about Florida, I was like, look, Florida's going to get their points inside. Just don't let the guards beat you. Arkansas's guards have to outplay Florida's guards. In that game that got out of control, Florida's bigs beat Arkansas's bigs. Florida's guards beat Arkansas's guards. Arkansas's guards didn't play well. This is a game. Arkansas's guards has to outplay Arizona's guards and hold Bradley down, hold Burries down. Their big guys are going to score some points. They're going to get some offensive rebounds. They're going to get some cheap baskets. Arkansas's guards have to dominate this game. Good call. We'll take a break. When we come back, more about Arkansas, High Point, Arkansas, Arizona. We'll take some more phone calls. We'll keep hitting the Middleton Heat and Air text line. We're just getting started. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
The NCAA tournament is underway. How's your Bud White bracket looking? Go to 1037thebuzz.com to check out the leaderboard.
This is Sports Center.
After clubbing South Carolina in Friday's series opener, then pulling Saturday's game out in extra innings, the number 7 Arkansas baseball team fell 9-4 in the series finale Sunday. South Carolina scored its 9 runs on 12 hits. They were aided by 4 walks. Nolan Souza led the Razorbacks offensively, going 3 for 4 with a home run. Ryder Helfrich also hit a home run, finishing 2 for 5. The Hogs return to Baum-Walker Stadium tomorrow when they take on UCA at 6 o'clock. Speaking of UCA, they pulled off a rally with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They beat Bellarmine 8-7. The Little Rock Trojans scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They stunned Tennessee Tech 11-10. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Soccer fans, listen up. Experience Fayetteville, Arkansas is giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to see Club America take on Tigres in the Golden Clash, happening March 28th at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. In a FIFA year, international soccer in Fayetteville is something special, and you could be there. Stay tuned for your chance to win and experience the Golden Clash live.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern born and raised and Arkansas based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get one entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus one free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Around here, reputation matters. That's why homeowners and business owners turn to the professionals at CertaPro Painters for their painting projects. From detailed residential painting to professionally managed commercial projects, our crews deliver craftsmanship that protects your investment and enhances curb appeal. Spring weather won't last forever, and neither will the open slots on the schedule. If painting is on your list this year, now's the time. Call CertaPro Painters or visit CertaPro.com and reserve your spring project today. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Auto, and we get people ask us all the time how we sell so many vehicles. Folks, I believe it's because we're one of the auto dealers out there that are full transparent. A lot of folks are advertising prices online, then you walk into the store and they add a $1,900 or a $2,900 fee for whatever reason. Now, occasionally a car dealer might have a mistake on online price, but if that's your practice, it's just simply wrong. At Red River Auto Group, the price you see is what you get. Check us out at redriverauto.com.
U.S. Truck Accessories, your #1 Central Arkansas source for truck accessories, specializing in camper shells, bed covers, spray-in bed liners, trailer hitches, steps, grill guards, bumpers, lift kits, and much more. With professional installation on all products they offer. Locations in Conway and Searcy. U.S. Truck Accessories offers their customers twice the service. Locally owned and operated by a military veteran since 2002. Visit in-store, online. U.S. Truck Accessories. Work hard, play hard.
Tito's Handmade Vodka presents the 2026 1037 The Buzz Spring Golf Tournament, Monday, April 13th at Burns Park Golf Course. Registration's now open, so go to 1037thebuzz.com to register your 4-person team. Prizes are going to be awarded in both morning and afternoon flights. The 2026 1037 The Buzz Spring Golf Tournament, Monday, April 13th at the Burns Park Golf Course, presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka. With special thanks to Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, Sonic, and Michelob Ultra.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
We all my. Yeah. Come on.
All right, we're back. Glad you're with us. I had to get my bracket just so I can remember all the other different games y'all want to talk about. Go to Milton Heat and Air text line. Try to get caught up. Thank y'all for texting. Killing it over here. Peyton and Cersei says $300 in bonus bets. I can bet on anything. I'm thinking about putting it on a 30-plus point pays over $99.50. All on a I don't know what you're saying, Peyton. Your text, that was maybe a voice text. Didn't make sense. But yeah, it's bonus cash, right? Hit them big. Mike, what's up, Mike? Got a rebound, and you beat Arizona. They kill everybody on the board. You're right, Mike. That is that's the key. Just looking at last night's game. Now, Utah State was undersized, and you saw that. They were playing small, and they were just doing that. They were working hard. They were trying to do the best they could. Arizona had how many offensive rebounds? 16 offensive rebounds last night. Pete had 3. Krivas had 9. Their other forward had 2. The big man that comes in off the bench, 2. So 16 offensive rebounds. It doesn't list second chance points, but it was a bunch. They had 45 total rebounds. They went to the free throw line 39 times. Holy cow. 27 of 39. That's a lot of fouls. How many fouls was poor Utah State called for? They were called for 25 fouls. They've been letting them play. That's a good thing for Arkansas, no doubt. But, Mike, you're right. Number one key, rebound. Got to rebound. Oh, A-Cup was A-Cuff. I got you, Peyton. A-Cuff, 30-plus point, pays well over $950. Dude, the way he's rolling right now, Arizona's going to be a different animal. That size will make it harder to finish. But if he can hit that outside shot or that 15-footer, dude, I'm not betting against A-Cuff. That dude is special. 479. I didn't mean to go all Houston nut on you. Billy on Berries, Pringle on Crevis, Brazil on Pete, Malik on Bradley. Okay, who's A-Cuff on? Because you're leaving. You're leaving out. Oh no, he can't. A-Cuff can't guard the whatever his name. Ivan Karchinikov. A-Cuff can't guard him. He's like 6'7", 6'8". Yeah, you got to change that around. I like what you're thinking, but I don't know if Billy can guard Burries because Burries is too quick. Malik might get on Burries. And it's going to be like so many other games. You're going to see different guys on, moving around, just trying to find that right matchup that somebody can stop Berries. And DJ's going to be key. DJ's become one of their better perimeter defenders, and he can get on Berries or Bradley. But A-Cuff's got to guard somebody. Joe, I've not seen a defense like Coach Nolan had that would work in this era in basketball.
Yeah, it changes as time changes, and you have to adjust. I think the closest probably would be St. John's. They run something similar.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, it's not a lot of that going on in college basketball right now just because it's a different game.
Yeah, St. John's, man, they do a good job of making it difficult to inbound the ball. But once you get it in, they fall back. They jump on you.
And that's the proper way to do it because you saw that there was a game lost because they tried to press in the backcourt when they were up and ended up getting beat.
Iowa, Florida. Florida had the press on. Iowa beats it. Corner three, good.
Yeah, and there was no need to press in the backcourt the way they did.
Drake says, Wes, you already have us beat. I never said they were going to lose. I'm just telling you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. I mean, the line on Bet Saracen, let me double-check it, but this morning it was 8. In my mind, when I was setting the line, I had Arizona favored by 7. And it is now 8.5 on Bet Saracen. Over under 168. So, yeah, I mean, Arizona's favored for a reason. They're the number one seed. Many people picked Arizona to win it all.
A lot of people.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. But can Arkansas win this game? No doubt about it. Arkansas can win it. I put it at 3 out of 10. I think Arkansas's got about a 30% chance of winning this game.
Well, we see that, Arizona's a 1 seed. We've already seen a 1 seed go down. But in Florida's region, I'm sure there were a lot of brackets that had Florida moving on and didn't have them losing in the round of 32. I'm sure they had them advancing a lot farther than 32. So we're playing a 1 seed, but 1 seeds can lose just like any other team out there.
Let me pull it up. I think this tells you the percentage on ESPN. Yep. Duke, 23% picked Duke to win it all. That's the highest percentage of a national championship. 21%, 20.9 picked Arizona to win it all. So 1 out of every 5 bracket out there, millions out there, picked Arizona to win it. Next was Michigan at 14.2. So Florida was a little bit – I think Florida's loss to Vanderbilt in the SEC semifinals opened some eyes. And Florida was that 4th number 1 seed. They were in the running with UConn and Houston and a couple others as the last number 4 seed. But those were by far the three, most picked teams. Arizona number 2 at 21%. But yeah, Arkansas can win this game. Hell, they had arguably the best player in college basketball, and the ball's in his hands all the time. So it gives them a legit shot. Wes, the name of the game is to win. Who cares about defense? Just make more shots. Acuff is the player of the year. That was the story of the game against High Point for about 38 minutes. In the last 2 minutes, Arkansas played a little defense, got some stops, and that was the difference in the game. You got to have some stops. You got to get a couple of stops from time to time. And honestly, for Arkansas, with that Arizona defense, to me, the key is to get some stops and go, run with it, and get in transition. And that's been a key for Arkansas all year, but this may even be a more important time against Arizona with a bigger team. I think Arkansas is the quicker team and the more athletic team. And so if they could get out there and run, but that takes stops, that takes a rebound, defense, create some steals, easy baskets would be huge for Arkansas in this game. Do we have anybody on the injured list that we need to be concerned about from this Thursday's game? Nah, just Nick Pringle. Love to get him back. And I feel good. I feel very optimistic they'll get him back. Doug's in North Little Rock. What's up, Doug?
Hey, guys, I just want to know, Utah State was playing a matchup zone, and it didn't work really well. They were really small. Do you think it's something Calipari could kind of pick up maybe a little bit this week instead of this man-to-man that we constantly get beat with?
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Arkansas has been doing something similar to that, and Calipari's been talking about it for about the last 3 weeks, I would say, last 4 weeks. It's still man-to-man principles, but it's got some zone in there. And where Arkansas has been doing a better job of getting in the passing lanes, making it more difficult, and playing a better help defense. Guys, High Point, just throw that game out. You're not going to see an offense like High Point again this year. The way they spread you out. I mean, it looked like you're playing Golden State. I mean, they're just spreading it out, nobody in the middle. Their bigs out wide. It was dribble, kick it out. Even at least Alabama, they'll have a guy down low sometimes. Now, they use him a lot for the pick and roll, but there wasn't none of this pick and roll stuff. It was dribble, penetrate, go to the basket. If they come off of you, kick it out for a three. And so it was hard to use those defensive principles that Arkansas has been working on against a team like High Point, because everybody's standing out the three-point line. Because they knew they were going to take 43s, and that was the game plan too. And I'll say this, Arkansas did not want them to make a bunch of threes. And the theory was they were willing to give up a couple of layups here and there. Turned out to be a lot of layups, but they weren't going to beat them shooting three-point shots. And they accomplished that. Look, they won the game. Arkansas won the game. So you got to give them credit for a defensive philosophy that limited the threes and gave up some layups. Finish it up when we come back.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's March Madness at Natural State Wholesale, The Warehouse, and the deals are a total slam dunk. Score big on all kinds of flooring, butcher block countertops, shingles, sinks and faucets, bathroom vanities, ceiling fans, and so much more. Whether you're remodeling your kitchen, updating your bathroom, or tackling a full home project, Natural State Wholesale has the inventory and the prices to win the game. Don't miss the madness. These deals won't last forever. Head to Natural State Wholesale, The Warehouse, where contractors and homeowners both come to score big.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. You can call Heartland home.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. In his song Against the Wind, Bob Seger writes about growing older. and yearning for the simplicity of past times. He laments the grind of touring, moving 8 miles a minute for months at a time. He ponders what to leave in and what to leave out. This song speaks for a lot of us and our issues with the current state of college football, with the transfer portal and players always going to the highest bidder. We wish it could be the way it used to be, but it's not. So we're older now, but still running against the wind. Many Doublebee's locations have Chester's Chicken and Big Rock Pizza to get you a fast, delicious meal. And if you're around Clinton or Cabot, you can add some Baskin-Robbins ice cream to that. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen, founded over a decade ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, roll-off dumpsters, and street sweepers. Proud to be Arkansas's only authorized dealer for New Way refuse trucks and Timco street sweepers. Your authorized dealer for Galfab roll-off and hook lift trucks. You can get parts and service for all makes and models with technicians traveling the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton. We're going to take $11,000 off Grand Cherokees, and we've got the new Compass starting at just $27,995.
Jerry, it's Wrangler season. Tell them what we're going to do about those.
This year, Jeep has reduced their factory-based price by thousands. So we're starting new Jeep Wranglers at $34,999. So come see us at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton.
The Big Lock Benton. I'm Alan LeVar. For 25 years, my team and I have helped injury victims across Arkansas. This is our home. We don't work for insurance companies, we work for you. Car crash, truck wreck, motorcycle collision. We know how to win, and if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Your consultation is always free and confidential. Hurt in the car? Call LeVar. Arkansas strong for 25 years and ready when you need us. LeVar Law. Arkansas built, Arkansas trusted.
The after-season clothing sale continues at Fort Thompson. Tons of clothing marked down to 50% off. Also, check out the new spring hunting and clothing items arriving daily. See you at Fort Thompson's in Sherwood.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
All right, let's wrap this up. Final segment, we'll bring in Billy. He's in Maumelle. What's up, Billy?
Yeah, man, I just had a comment about that TGL with Tiger Woods and all that stuff. To me, that's just so it's just meathead, like false testosterone TRT, like Dave and Buster's. Like golf is such a putrid, snotty sport. It's just, to me, that's just not entertainment. It just seemed like bear hugging each other and like a bunch of drunk retards. But anyway, go Hogs, man.
I'm speechless. I mean, not where I thought that was going. I thought we were talking Razorback basketball. We will in the second hour. We got the Razor Hog update. Joe Klein's coming by. Take a look at Arizona, High Point. Darius Akoff, anybody? Malik Thomas? Man, he played well, too. They all did. That's what it took to knock off High Point. No meatheads out there. Glad you're with us. Stick around. Hour number 2 coming up next. It's Out of Bounds.
Welcome to Moe's. Everyone knows that coming into Moe's for our Moe Monday.
Carson Brumbaugh joins the zone each week courtesy of Pinnacle Parties. Bounce houses, tents, tables, and everything in between. Take your party to the Pinnacle. Find them online at pinnacleparties.com.
Your heart works hard for you every day. Are you taking care of it? UAMS Health makes it easy with our heart health screening. For just $99, you will receive a heart CT scan, cholesterol and glucose testing, kidney and blood pressure assessments, plus stroke risk screening, all with same-day results. If you're over 35 or have a family history of heart disease, this screening is for you. Healthy heart, healthy you, healthy future. Call UAMS Health at 501-603-1222. That's 501-603-1222.
Soccer fans, listen up. Experience Fayetteville, Arkansas is giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to see Club America take on Tigres in the Golden Clash, happening March 28th at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. In a FIFA year, international soccer in Fayetteville is something special, and you could be there. Stay tuned for your chance to win and experience the Golden Clash live. The NCAA tournament is underway. How's your Bud White bracket looking? Go to 1037thebuzz.com to check out the leaderboard.
The best seats of the game don't always require tickets. Sometimes all you need is a pair of earphones. And 1037 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Family is speaking out following the arrest of Joseph Duggar and his wife. Police in Arkansas say the couple is facing several counts of second-degree endangering the welfare of a minor and second-degree false imprisonment. The state investigation comes just days after Joseph was arrested for crimes out of Florida. Amy Duggar King released a statement following the couple's arrest, saying, quote, "To the 4 children in that home, I see you, I pray for you. None of this is your fault, and none of this is your burden to carry." To read the full statement, you can head to our website, krk.com. And Alexander police are searching for a suspect wanted in 3 states, including Arkansas. Officers are looking for 25-year-old Rayland Wayne Boone. He is considered armed and dangerous and could be in Alexander or Little Rock. If you know where he is or see him, please call police. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KRK's Jessica Rockwell.
Chris Kane joins Morning Mayhem each Monday to mix it up with the guys. Chris Kane on Morning Mayhem is presented by Trader Bill's. Trader Bill's, your one-stop shop for all things lake.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
Cooler, more spring-like weather on the way today for your Monday. Temperatures will be warming up into the mid to upper 60s, which is right around average for this time of year. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, but it is going to be a little bit on the breezy side today with the northeast wind anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. Similar weather on the way for your Tuesday. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Are you hungry? Something new, $25, all you can eat, sushi rolls, soup, salad, Benihana rice. Come at Benihana's Monday through Thursday.
What's on tap? Brought to you by Flyway Brewing. It's always open season at Flyway Brewing, serving 2 Central Arkansas locations, North Little Rock, and now open in Breckenridge Village. Check out current promotions at flywaybrewing.com. Flyway Brewing. Follow the migration. We encourage you to wet your beak responsibly.
Mike Rowe here with a name everyone should know, Groundworks. The foundation and crawl space repair experts are coming soon to Little Rock. So if you've got a musty crawl space or cracks in your walls, these are the guys to call. And right now, Groundworks is hiring for all positions. If you're looking for a career, Groundworks is the place to do it. You can go from installer to foreman in under a year and become an owner of the company you work for. Apply now at groundworks.com/careers.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Richard Yeager, Steve Ferguson, or Jason Daly in Little Rock today.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Myron Metcalf.
North Carolina cares a lot about its image in these conversations. They're not going to fire a former great in Hubert Davis. They'll say it's a mutual decision.
But you know it's not.
Yes, but that's what they'll say.
Well,
to your point, I don't know if people understand how in the family they are. Hubert Davis staff, every single staff member of his went to North Carolina. Every wife of every staff member with Hubert Davis. With 100,000% true. I asked Hubert Davis directly, and he said he's more comfortable when people come in and they just understand the North Carolina culture. So that's why he favors North Carolina staffers. So that's how family-based.
But you're making it sound like a cult.
I'm making it sound like a school that has won by keeping it in the family for a long time, and now they've hit this point. Like a lot of schools, can you stay in the family and continue to win, or do you have to rip this whole thing up and start over?
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
They drop it into Martinez. Martinez across the timeline. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Johnston heaves it at the horn. It's no good. And for the second straight year, the Razorbacks are headed for the Sweet 16. San Jose bound. The Razorbacks knock off High Point 94-88. It was a thriller, but the Razorbacks win for the 28th time, and they survive and advance late at night in Portland, Oregon.
We had to take the game. They were not going to give it. They'd won so many games. They played with the game, with the mentality that we're going to win. Their coach coached right to the end. Coach Klayman did a great job.
They did a great job. Arkansas wins 94-88 over High Point. Next up, Arizona Thursday night. Get used to that 8:45 start. We got another one coming up Thursday night. Baseball-wise, Arkansas took 2 of 3 from South Carolina. They're tied for first place in the SEC with a 4-2 record. UCA tomorrow night, Florida in town, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Arkansas women swept UConn, and they got a big week coming up for them also. They got UCA in Conway tomorrow night. So you got one in Conway, the other in Fayetteville.
Coverage of the 2026 NCAA Tournament on the Buzz is sponsored by First Security. First Security Bank. Bank better. Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is the leader in sports betting in Arkansas. Make sure you have the Bet Saracen app downloaded to your mobile device. Bet with Saracen and start winning today. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. And Sunstar Insurance of Arkansas. Sunstar Insurance, shining bright across Arkansas as one of the fastest growing insurance agencies in the natural state. Now, let's head to Portland, Oregon and join Trey Schapp.
I meant to cut it right there. I thought he said now Trey Schapp in Portland. I was going to cut it right before he said Portland and say in the studio.
It's all right.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Hey, we also have some new, some additional sponsors. So Bale Chevrolet,
all right,
and Kaufman by Design West. They're
Heck
all
yeah.
hopping on board.
Let's go.
Yeah,
it's going to cost a little bit more to go to San Jose.
It's another week on the road.
Yes, it is,
and it's California.
Did you consider just staying out there and getting a rental and driving on down?
Thought about it, but when looking at everything, this was the most economical, feasible way.
Okay.
Now, rest-wise and probably not the best, but, hey, take one for the team.
Yeah, it probably would have been
Right,
best
Freak?
to stay, Trey. But, I mean, we're happy that you had the coverage there. You're here for a day, and then you're going to be back at it. So we'll be looking forward to talking to you from there.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
How smart do you think it is that Arkansas is staying out there?
When I talked to Mike Kaywood on Friday, I think it was, before the media availability in the Moda Center, I said, or if you guys win tomorrow, are you guys going back right after the game? He goes, oh, no. He said, we were told to pack for 2 weeks. So right off the bat, when they knew where they were going, they all got, I guess, a text or whatever they do, text threads. I know that's how Little Rock operates. They text threads and everything when it's dealing with travel and team travel. They said pack for 2 weeks. So their plan all along was to win 2 games, stay out there. They flew into Sacramento yesterday. So they're there. They're going to bust down to San Jose, I believe, tomorrow sometime. They're working out at the Kings facility today and maybe tomorrow morning. And then they have their press conferences and media availability and practice there in San Jose on Wednesday.
So now it makes all the sense in the world that they're practicing at King's facility, because when you said they were flying in, you can fly right into San Jose.
Oh, yeah, you could, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense that they're at an NBA practice facility.
And I think a lot of them went to the game last night. The Kings were playing. Coach Cal and Kenny Payne were sitting courtside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I saw Coach Z had a picture of he was in the arena at the game too. His was not courtside.
I didn't see Coach Z's tweet.
He was in the upper deck. So I'm going to have to I'm going to do another one of those. So I did a couple of different things out there, video-wise, social media-wise, interview-wise, and I did a little, I guess you could call it selfie interview with Coach Z and with Hunter Yurachek. I'm going to do another one of those with Coach Z, and I'm going to have to ask him about, hey, how come Cal had the courtside seat and you look like you were in the upper deck in the rafters?
I see that now. I missed it last night. It's funny. We had Coach Z on.
And I'm sure you'll have him on this week, too.
Yeah, we'll have him tomorrow.
Well, there you go.
He was on last Tuesday, and I asked him about that possibility, and he said, yeah, I think it's a distinct – but he wouldn't – I don't know if he didn't want to give away the plan.
He didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
But he said that was a possibility of just staying out there, and
right.
And then he was like, "That would be the smart thing to do," and it is. And
well, I think so. Yeah, you keep your legs. And it's not like you're sitting on a bus for hours upon hours upon hours. I mean, got on an airplane, flew down there. Probably not that long of a flight, maybe an hour at the most from Portland to Sacramento, maybe an hour 15, hour and a half. And Texas, though, they were out there. They played that afternoon. They flew back to Austin. They got into Austin probably early Sunday morning, and then they got to fly back out tomorrow.
Not as long of a trip for them, though. So it could make the difference.
Maybe a difference of 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Flight-wise, yeah, for sure. But
yeah.
Now, if you start on West Coast and your next leg, your next leg is there, that is the best way to go about it. But we know different schools, they have different plans as far as travel, and they're going to do it according to how they want to do it.
Well, and of course, remember this, Texas had to leave either late Sunday or Monday of last week to get to Dayton, Ohio for their first 4 game on Tuesday.
So it's been a while.
They had been on the road for a while. And then they didn't land in Portland in, I believe it was like 5:40 in the morning on Wednesday. And then they had to get up and do their media availabilities and everything. So
that's why I said I don't care that they're an SEC school. This is a Cinderella story, an 11 seed, playing in Dayton, winning that game, flying to Oregon, turning around, winning that game.
Is it really, though?
That's 3 wins in 5 days as an 11 seed.
Yeah, but
and they weren't even playing well.
Wes, think about this, though. They have the most money of any Division I school in their athletic department. You can't be a Cinderella when you have that.
Yeah, but they
shouldn't have been an 11 seed.
They aren't good.
I know, but you should be better.
Is the SEC better than we thought? I didn't think the SEC I've got a great bracket, patting myself on the back, except for the SEC. And I thought the SEC were going to lose so many first-round games, and I'm just shocked.
I'm shocked at Florida. And I know I was listening to you earlier where you said you didn't have them going to the Final Four. Maybe that was a little bit of them getting a little bit complacent with what they had done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Vanderbilt beat them, and maybe they thought, okay, that's the wake-up call we needed.
Right.
Now let's go on our run.
Yep.
That didn't happen. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they aren't as good as what we thought, but they have the second most teams of any conference in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
But you look at the Sweet 16, it's all made up of Power 4 schools.
Mm-hmm.
There are no underdogs. Texas, okay, an underdog to Purdue based on seeding alone, but you don't have that real Cinderella like – a High Point, a Utah State, a VCU, a George Mason back in the day, a Loyola Chicago back in the day. You don't have that.
No, not a mid-major, nothing like that. Did Arkansas look tired to you?
No, I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk on social media, and that came up during our post-game show, that if the 5 games in, 8 days?
Yeah.
It caught up with them?
Yeah, 3 in a row starting on Friday the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, boom, boom, boom. And Friday late night, Saturday mid-afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have much time to rest and
yeah.
recovery. And then you got maybe 20 hours after that.
Even less because it was a noon.
Right. And so then you turn around and Tuesday you're on an airplane to Portland. Then you play Thursday, the early game. Luckily they switched them to the late game on Saturday, which I think kind of worked out. And then we talked about it too on the post game. Freak, remember when Acuff was sitting at the scores table forever and couldn't get in the game? Maybe a blessing in disguise that he was able to come back late and he still had some legs, it seemed like. So maybe that break right there, Coach Cal didn't have to give him the break in the second quarter or the second half. I say second quarter, I'm in women's town. But the second half to where he needed a break then, Cal was able to – he got his big break in the first half and then was there for the whole stretch.
So you're speaking of the way it should be. I was talking to someone that watching the game over the weekend, and they thought that it was so much time left in the game because they were thinking it was a quarter, and I had to explain to them about how the men's game is the only form of basketball that plays 2 halves.
It's ridiculous. And, how much more excitement would you get? Look, I know half-court shots are great, always banked in, three-pointer that he hit. But think about this. If you had quarters and under the last minute of the game in the fourth, you could call timeouts and advance the ball to the front court.
Yep. That's the way it should be.
To the 28-foot mark.
Yeah.
Well, the women do it.
Yeah, exactly.
The NBA does it.
Everybody does it.
How can we not get men's basketball on the same page with everybody else?
They've been locked in tradition for so long, and that's what they kind of stand on. But the women's game adjusted, and they do it with quarters. So now you don't have that to rely on to say this is about tradition. Tradition can change. Change to what it should be.
Yeah, I would like to see some coaches have to dial up some kind of play. After calling a timeout, I want to see what they diagram, what they come up with. I think you would have so many lobs, backdoor lobs at the basket from the 28-foot mark. And if you're Arkansas, I think you got to like your chances with that because the way that they can just jump out of the gym. Some guy, what about a backdoor lob to Brazil or Billy Richmond? You know the opposing coach is going to say, okay, watch out for this because this is probably coming. But I still would like to see the fact that they could advance the ball. And also, okay, you better not use up your timeouts because if you don't have any left, you can't advance it.
Well, you wonder about the college coaches. Are they locked in that tradition? Because that's what it's going to take to change for them to speak up about it and say it's time to advance the game on. If they do that, then change would happen. But it's not going to happen without the coaches being outspoken about it.
Right.
I was watching the first half in Arkansas. I can't remember who took a timeout, but somebody took a timeout around 8:40, 8:50 left in the first half. Came back to play, and Acuff wasn't in the game. I was like, well, that's smart. They're going to let him sit till that under 8-minute timeout.
Right.
And then
because
bring
you
him
have a
back
media.
in.
You have a media 16, 12, 8, and 4.
about the 8:30 mark, I saw Acuff walking to and I was like, wow, okay, they're going to go ahead and get him in now. They kept playing and playing and playing. I think it was at 4.5 minutes they finally had a stoppage.
And I think it was Cal called the timeout there.
I don't think they did. I think I was waiting for – because in my mind, they had made a little run. They had hit, I think,
You're
3.
waiting for High Point to call the timeout.
No, High Point had
made
a
made
run.
the run getting back into it.
I think they finally just had a foul.
Right. Yeah.
That was called.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, all right, let's call a timeout here. Get Acuff in the game. They've hit 3 threes.
Stop
I think
that
they
run.
took 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Got a little run here. Let's get him back in the game. And I think, I off the top of my head, I think it was just a normal stoppage, a foul or something. And then they took the media timeout, and Acuff was able to come into the game.
How big was Acuff at the end of the first half to get to the line, knock him down, and then in the second half, he did not miss a free throw in the second half. Yes, he missed 2 in the first half. I think he was 9 of 11, if memory serves me correct. From
11
the free
of 13.
Throw. 11 of 13, okay. Yeah. 11 of 13.
I think he was 2 for 4 in the first half.
I think he was 2 for 4 in the first half, so yeah.
9 for 9. Or maybe it was 7 for 7 in the second half with hitting those 2 at the end of the half.
Well, the 2 at the end of yeah. Yeah, and then you got to give credit to Billy Richmond, too, defensively. Billy Richmond and Malik Ewan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ewan's block of the three-point attempt, Wes, if that drops, they maybe start getting a little momentum because you know their crowd's going to go nuts and everybody in the building is going to go nuts. When Arkansas got that block by Ewan and went down the other end, I believe they scored. That's when the place started. The casual fan that was in there, that's when they started walking out of the building.
Yeah.
Because they realized, okay, Cinderella's, the carriage has flat tires and the glass slipper's broken.
Mood inside as far as atmosphere, was it like 90-10, everybody rooting for High Point?
Yeah, but there were a lot of you had the hog call, which, you can hear that anywhere. But maybe 80-20.
Okay.
But I think that at times it was loud for Arkansas. I mean, you could tell that some of the fans in there knew good basketball because when they would see, like Rob Martin drive to the hoop and, juke a guy and go up, it's like, oh, I mean, the crowd was like, oh, wow, that's a really cool play. And they expressed it with their voice. Same thing with Arkansas. When they would hit big threes, when Acuff would do something spectacular, they even did that on Thursday night as well. So, I mean, he's a show. I mean, you pay money to go watch him play. Next year, when he's in the league, and, I mean, if he's playing for the Grizzlies, there'll be a lot of Razorback fans that might buy season tickets.
Oh, I said that. Memphis has been trying to get in the Little Rock market for a long time.
That's the way to do it.
And I'd go ahead and take a flyer on Billy Richmond, too, and draft them both.
Why not?
And you would have the state of Arkansas. Yeah, I know you got your Oklahoma City Thunder fans and some other diehard fans, but those who are just kind of casual NBA people, they start watching Memphis and going to Memphis games.
I know Bill Jones with Sissy's Log Cabin. I mean, his courtside seats, they would be someone in them every night.
Every night.
He would have no problems getting rid of those when he's not going to be in attendance over there at FedEx Forum. Yeah, why would you not, Wes? Yeah. Think about that. And the way he handles himself, that's one thing that I've been so impressed with Darius Acuff Jr. Never gets too high. Never gets too low, doesn't show a lot of emotion, whether it's the big shot that he hit or whether it's, I just committed a turnover. It's the same thing all the time. And then even in the locker room when you're talking to him, he's just straight-faced. I mean, it's almost like I was asking Amari Brown, I said, what? He goes, oh, man, he can cut up at times. We've seen it.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Yeah.
And that's what is so cool about him is that he is that way. He's so calm, cool, collected. He's just a pro.
The only time that we've really seen him act like a 19-year-old is when he played rock, paper, scissors with
exactly
with
on
Malik,
the court
on the
with
court.
Malik Thomas.
And it's like, okay, so he does have a side to him that likes to have fun.
Who's gonna shoot the technicals?
Really, that's about the only time I've seen him kind of get a little upset. Show a little emotion, but very rarely.
Yeah, and he gets upset at himself sometimes, like when he misses shots or something. And I thought the play where he drove to the basket, got fouled, and then kind of put his head on the basket support, the padding right there. Mm-hmm. That was just kind of a okay, let's go, type moment for him. It was a way for him to get himself amped up, pumped up, whatever you want to call it. And when Coach Cal gets on him, when Coach Calipari gets on him, he can get right in his face and stuff. He knows the buttons to push. And I think you see that, and he takes it as, okay, he's making me a better player. My question to you two is, Joe, and I know you watch a lot of NBA, I think he can step in and play right now. But also, is it time to start the talk of this? The only reason Boozer is up there is because of the preseason hype. I don't think Acuff got enough preseason hype.
He got none.
If he had some preseason hype, I think he would be 1A, 1B with Boozer right now as your player of the year.
The country did not know who Acuff was until maybe late February.
Middle to late February,
The big game against Alabama, what day was that?
Yeah.
When he had 49.
Yeah.
That's when they started talking about him like, oh, wait, there's another freshman. And that's the thing. There's so many good freshmen.
Yeah.
He got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And when he hit 49, they were like, we got to take a look at this guy. And since then, it's just been steady every single game.
Let's say I know if is a big word, even though it's only 2 letters. If he has, let's say 35 against Arizona and the Hogs win.
When's the voting done?
I think it's after this weekend.
Before the Final Four?
Before, because they always announce on the middle day, the Sunday at the Final Four is, I think, when they announce. Would he be?
They have to win these next 2 games.
Could he get there?
If they win these next 2 games, he has big games, which if they win these next 2 games, he's going to have big games. And I would say if Duke loses, maybe to Michigan State or the next game to St. John's, which very well could happen. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion nationally about Acuff being the National Player of the Year. And you're going to see that pick up some steam.
And, guys, let's think about this too. In the world of college athletics that we live in right now, you're not going to see a player stay as long as a Trevin Brazile, a Billy Richmond. DJ Wagner. So when you have a guy like this, and who's to say Cal can't go find another one? But I don't know that there's another one out there right now that is this good coming in. If you're Arkansas, how long do you wait before you honor him?
Well, it goes back to the argument. There are a lot of guys you got to honor.
I agree.
So I don't think you can jump him up to the top of the list without honoring all these other greats.
Let's start.
Yeah, no, that's should have been done all this season.
Joe Johnson.
Yeah.
He led him to an SEC championship.
The only way he gets jumped or moves to the top of that list is if they win 4 more. Then, to me, he goes to that top of the list, and you got to honor that number 5 very quickly.
If they win 4 more, and he's the most outstanding player of the entire tournament, Jersey's got to be up there.
And you know who has more weight than anybody up there? Calipari.
Cal.
And if he says, get it done, it'll get done.
No doubt.
February 18th is when he had the 49 against Alabama.
Yeah.
So you're looking at over a month, 4 weeks now, 5 weeks that he's been on the national scene.
Right. And the thing now is, though, that every game from here on out is elevated to where so many more eyeballs are on it.
Well, that was a great thing about High Point. Last game of the night, everybody's watching that game. There's not another game on, especially at the end of the game, and it was a good game.
And that's when he was
going off.
Put the team on his back.
Let's go to Angry Buckeye real quick. What's up, Angry Buckeye?
When it comes to the women's wrestling, I just don't think that's for me.
Stop, Angry Buckeye.
Those ladies, meatheads, my TV only has one channel, and I'm just, I can't change it, so I just watch it, and just not for me, seeing them all lathered up. And you guys aren't having a contest for the most random off-topic phone call today?
I guess
sorry.
we are,
Okay.
Angry Buckeye. I don't know what that was. So we had a call at the end of the first hour going off on TGL. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're talking Razorbacks NCAA Tournament March Madness. Why are you calling in about TGL?
Wow.
What are we doing? Angry Buckeye with a sense of humor. David, don't do it. Don't.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm just trying to figure out, man. I mean, the average points that Moser has is like 16, 18 points a game, and ACUF's average is 25 plus a game. And I mean, and like anywhere from 6 to 10 assists. I just don't understand how they can't look at the damn numbers and figure out who's going to be the player of the year.
Well, they see those 4 letters across the chest.
Yeah.
DUKE.
Yeah, that's not right. It's kind of like when Darren McFadden got ripped on the Heisman.
Very similar.
In the dang row. But everybody knew in the whole country that Darren McFadden was the best player. He still didn't get it. It's just
Yeah,
crazy.
that was a shame when McFadden didn't win the Heisman.
I mean, who goes up there on the podium 2 years in a row for the Heisman? Nobody.
Hey, Wes.
David.
All right, man. Hey,
see you, man.
go Hogs.
Thanks.
I'm going to show you this, and tell me what you see there, first glance.
Arizona, Arkansas, San Jose, California, March 26, 8:45.
What stands out?
Am I missing something?
Yeah. Notice how the 1 is a lot bigger.
Oh. Yeah, the 1 is bigger.
Well, that's because it came from Arizona basketball.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I know how. Is it logical to expect Arkansas to keep Arizona off the glass and to rebound? Can they do that?
No.
So how do you beat Arizona?
You got to pull the big out. Got to pull the big out and open up. And the way you do that?
No, I'm talking about when Arizona has the ball.
Oh.
They're making a living with offensive rebounds.
Well, you're gonna have to help. When they throw it into the post, you got to have 2 guys around him. Long arms. I mean, Trevor Brazile, 9-foot wingspan. So Malik Ewan, 9-foot wingspan. Don't foul. Wall up.
Mm-hmm.
Make him go over the top of you. And you got to be doing rebounding drills in practice, I would think, the next 2 days. Not enough to where you're going to get people injured, because I've seen some coaches that their rebound drills, I'm like, I don't think we want to be doing this right now, Coach. But the guy's won, 800 and something games, Joe Foley, that, okay, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Go right ahead and do it. I'm not going to tell you how to run your practice, but I'm always worried about, okay, boy, you could really roll an ankle right there or something. But I think that's how you have to do it. You have to make them beat you from outside.
Yes. Yeah, they're not a three-point shooting
And they're
team.
not.
They're like 320th or something in three-point shots taken per game.
And Wes,
Make them do something they're not used to doing.
If Arkansas gets hot from outside,
they have to.
That's the equalizer in the game.
I mean, Utah State had plenty of open looks last night.
They just couldn't knock them down.
Yes. And if Arkansas they shot over 50% again. I don't know how many games that is this season, but it's more than like 4 or 5.
I would take 40, 42, 43% three-point shot, and I think you're in the game with a chance to win it.
Yeah. Got to hit from the outside. Do you expect Pringle to play?
I hope so. He was doing a little more pregame. Didn't get to see practice on Friday because that's closed. But in talking with him, he thinks he can be ready to go.
I think
from what he told you,
I
think he was ready to go on Saturday. I just think that the coaches might have held him out. I think it was on Saturday, emergency situation only, meaning Ewan's fouled out, Brazil's fouled out. Okay, Seeley's got 4 fouls. All right, Nick, we got to put you in. I think that was the only way he was going to get in the game on
I
Saturday.
think they rolled the dice a little bit and said, look, High Point's not big. They don't have any bigs.
It worked.
Yeah. Bought him another 4 or 5 days. Got to
Easy.
have him for Arizona.
Hey, and if he is able to play and if he's able to contribute and contributes in a positive way, you got to give Matt Townsend, their athletic trainer, all credit in the world because he's been working with him nonstop from what I understand.
Trey, great job. Be safe heading out. When do you leave?
In the morning, 6 a.m.
Nice. Well, enjoy, and we'll be talking to you all throughout the week.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It's Trey Schapp. Stick around. We'll do what's trending a little early today because Joe Klein's coming in a little bit later and want to have some time with him. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Tune in each week to Out of Bounds to hear from Lone Oak Steel Eaves. Omaha is the goal, and we're looking for a great season. Steel Eaves is brought to you by Stephen Elmore with Shelter Insurance. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Stephen Elmore or give him a call at 501-537-0959.
This is Sports Center.
The number 9 Arkansas softball team completed a 3-game sweep of UConn with a 9-4 victory Sunday in Fayetteville. Kaylee Wyckoff led the Razorbacks offensively, going 2 for 5 with 5 RBI, including a grand slam in the bottom of the 6th inning. Reese Berline was effective in her first start of the season, allowing 2 unearned runs on 4 hits with 5 strikeouts over 4 innings. Sailor Timmerman picked up the win in relief to move to 5-0 this season. She allowed 2 unearned runs on just 1 hit with 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. The Razorbacks will travel to Conway tomorrow, where they'll take on UCA at 6 o'clock. Speaking of UCA, Lily Hood was 3 for 3, including 2 doubles and a home run, but UCA fell to Lipscomb 12-7. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Around here, reputation matters. That's why homeowners and business owners turn to the professionals at CertaPro Painters for their painting projects. From detailed residential painting to professionally managed commercial projects, our crews deliver craftsmanship that protects your investment and enhances curb appeal. Spring weather won't last forever, and neither will the open slots on the schedule. If painting is on your list this year, now's the time. Call CertaPro Painters or visit CertaPro.com and reserve your spring project today. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at ArkansasRestorationExperts.com. Rainbow Restoration, where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. The Big Rock. It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Benton. This is Terry Harrison, and I've got Big Steve Landers here with me.
Over the years, I've seen a lot of sales events, but this is a big one.
Ram 2500 trucks are $14,000 off, and the 1500 series starts at just $37,995. So come see us at Chris Crane, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on Alcoa Road in Benton.
The Big Rock Benton.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
U.S. Truck Accessories, your #1 Central Arkansas source for truck accessories, specializing in camper shells, bed covers, spray-in bed liners, trailer hitches, steps, grill guards, bumpers, lift kits, and much more. With professional installation on all products they offer. Locations in Conway and Searcy. U.S. Truck Accessories offers their customers twice the service. Locally owned and operated by a military veteran since 2002. Visit in-store, online. U.S. Truck Accessories. Work hard, play hard. Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. Save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event going on now through the 29th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net. What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Oh, it was a great weekend. Of course, we were with you on Friday, but Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday night, Sunday night. That's the great thing about it, because it is like from 11 a.m. until about 11 p.m. or 11:30. I think Arkansas finished up around 11:30, their game on Saturday night. I saw people griping. And maybe it's just a bunch of East Coast people griping about the late start times. I'm like, what, are you old? You got to go to bed at 10 o'clock? What's the deal? It's a Saturday. What are we griping about?
Well, people, that's what they do. They complain. They complain about an early start time, a late start time. Like, they're going to play games. It's a tournament. They can't play your team, your favorite team, at the time you want them to play. Every time.
This is people.
Reality is not going to happen.
These weren't Texas Tech fans. They were griping that Texas Tech and the game last night was starting so late. I'm like, this is awesome. We get another game. Drink a cup of coffee. Stay up. All right. Let's talk about Villanova. First round done. Utah State took care of them. Kevin Willard, not happy.
Coach, 16 paint points for Utah State. How do you keep them out?
I'm not firing my staff because we've...
Not now.
Yeah, I am, because we've given up 8 points on underneath that bounds defense. So the only thing I'm going to do is fire them and get a new staff.
All right, go do that now. Bye, Coach. Kevin.
Well, we'll see if it happens. But like what they've done with some of the player interviews at halftime,
yeah,
that's something that's out of the norm. You see coaches, assistant coaches, depending on what school it is, but with NCAA tournament play this year, they've introduced some of these player halftime interviews, which is it's really good to see.
I do. I like that. I agree. Cornhuskers into the Sweet 16. How about that? They knocked off Troy pretty easily. That was a kind of a popular upset, trendy upset pick. No, Nebraska handled them. And then, you want to talk about a great game. That was finishing up right before the Arkansas game, because I was at walk-ons watching that Vanderbilt game. And the first, real quick, side note, atmosphere at walk-ons. Acre and I were talking about this after the game because he was somewhere else. And, you and I had been at Razorback Pizza on Friday. They said it was going to be sold out then, hardly have any tables. We were at Sauced on Friday. Atmosphere there. Do you know how many restaurants, bars were packed because of Razorback basketball Thursday and Saturday? You know how much money was made for the economy? Because not just in Little Rock, not just all over the freaking state, people were watching that game, going out, eating and drinking, watching the Razorbacks. What a boost to the economy that is.
Absolutely. That's what everybody was looking forward to, not only for the first day, but as long as they continue on throughout the tournament, they're going to show up to watch the game.
Now can we get that for the football program and boost the economy in the fall for Razorback football? See how important sports can be when you're good? Back to Nebraska. Sorry, little tirade. It was close. A matter of inches. But Nebraska's going to the Sweet 16.
Fred Hoiberg's going to let him play it out. Frager! Timeout! 2.2 to go. And this place is in a frenzy.
Man that catches it deep.
Vanderbilt, no timeouts. Half court heave. Oh! Tanner in and out. And Nebraska is on to the Sweet 16. Tyler Tanner had 27 points tonight. If that goes, it's one of the greatest shots in the history of the greatest sporting event on earth. And it did everything. It did everything but drop.
So I saw Nebraska hit the shot. And then there was like a little timeout, some time in between, and I was doing some work, getting ready for the Razorback post-game show. Joe, walk-ons. The whole place goes, oh! And I was like, what happened? And I missed it. And I had to wait for the replay to see what everybody in the restaurant, except for me, saw. That was so close. Iowa. How about an Iowa-Nebraska matchup for the Big Ten in the next round? Iowa knocked off Clemson, and then yesterday they beat the defending champs.
Put the ball in the hands of Bennett and let him go. Full court pressure. Koch gets it into Sturts. To Al Folgaris for three in the lead. Good! Good with 3.9 to go. No timeout. Florida's out of timeouts. Iowa will use its last timeout. Olay! The Spaniard. Pointing to the scoreboard, but get to the huddle, Al. There's 4 seconds left to go in the game. Isaiah Brown lined up to throw it in. Now they're going to go with Condon. Lee, Flan, Hauk. They've got their three-point shooter in the game, Kazar. Here comes Lee across the timeline. Drives around his man, in for the basket. No! Game's over! Game's over! Lee drove all the way down the floor. And they tried a wraparound pass. I thought he could have had the layup. Tried to wraparound pass to a cutting Thomas Hauk in the lane and backed the hearse up to the Florida driveway. The number 1 seed has been upset by the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I thought the same thing. I thought Lee was going to put up the shot. When he got around and hit the corner, I thought he was going in for a layup. And then he just went baseline and tried the wraparound and kind of got knocked around and time runs out.
Yeah, he got caught up with the bigs, and so that's why he had to make the pass.
Did you catch the Iowa, I think it was Bennett, point guard, when he made the pass to the corner, call timeout? He was calling timeout?
No.
I didn't catch it on the first time. It was like the replay. I saw it. I was like, that dude's calling timeout. Luckily for them, nobody saw it. Got another buzzer beater yesterday. Last night, St. John's beating Kansas.
His staff making sure they know no fouls.
This is going to be Darling. He's got to go. Darling puts it up. Oh!
St. John's is going to the Sweet 16.
The first Sweet 16 for St. John's since '99. Why is this the group, Dylan?
Man, we got a bunch of dogs. We could have gave in, a lot this year, but, we put our head down, came to work every day, and just a resilient group.
March is about moments, and the moment is yours. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kevin, wow.
Wow. Saturday night before Arkansas, you had Texas beating Gonzaga.
Gets it to Mark. Sherman Mark working in the paint. Gives it up. Heidi for three. Got it! Cam Heidi, first basket of the night, and it's huge. St. Superior on the miss. Texas
Bounces on the outlet to Vocatitis. They're trying to foul him. They can't. The Longhorns. Their third game in 5 days. And do they know the way to San Jose? Yeah, they do. How sweet it is to be a Longhorn. The Longhorns do it the hard way.
We're obviously thrilled to advance, be a part of Sweet 16. It just doesn't matter how many times you have been there or not. It's just it's a huge difference between being in that round and just entering the tournament. You know, having the opportunity to play through another week, be a part of a field that only includes 15 other teams, and obviously it's that next 4-team tournament you're playing to get to the Final Four. Just super proud of our group, our team, coaches. Like I've mentioned time and time again, our ride has never been easy, but we have fought the good fight the whole way, and today we did it again.
Next up for Texas, they get Purdue. In the winner, Arkansas or Arizona. Coming up next, we'll finish up our second hour. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
It's the big bass boat sale on all Ranger and Tracker boats at the open house sale. Now at Bradford Marine and ATV at all 7 statewide locations. Get the last of the boat show deals on all Ranger fiberglass bass boats with over $10,000 in extra discounts. Or the Sun Tracker Party Barge 22XP3 or Fishing Barge 22XP3 with $5,000 in discounts and a $1,000 Bass Pro gift card. Buy today, finance today, and have fun today at the open house sale going on at all Bradford Marine and ATV statewide locations. Your Ranger Tracker dealer.
It's Justin Acree for Coffin by Design West. Shop with the local folks and get exactly what you want. You can also shop from the convenience of your own home by going to KaufmanLumber.com. There's an online store with over 800,000 items in inventory that can be delivered straight to your front door. Items in inventory include everything from hardware to housewares, heating and cooling supplies, lawn and garden tools, sporting goods, store and office supplies, and there's a huge range of products in each area available. So go by their store in West Little Rock at 14900 Cancel Road or do your shopping online at KaufmanLumber.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Hawks Homes is Arkansas's #1 dealer. They have more inventory than anyone in Arkansas. Been in business for 40 years. Hawks offers custom-built manufactured and modular homes, 1 to 5 bedroom homes that can be built to accommodate all your needs, and right now use your tax return as a down payment. If you don't have land to place your home, we can help you find it and finance it all in one loan. If you need help with utilities or dirt work, we can help with that as well. See Hawks Homes online at hawkshomes.net.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Auto, and we get people ask us all the time how we sell so many vehicles. Folks, I believe it's because we're one of the auto dealers out there that are full transparent. A lot of folks are advertising prices online, then you walk into the store and they add a $1,900 or a $2,900 fee for whatever reason. Now, occasionally a car dealer might have a mistake on online price, but if that's your practice, it's just simply wrong. At Red River Auto Group, the price you see is what you get. Check us out at redriverauto.com.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Monday, Rick Schaefer and I back. We'll break down a big Razorback weekend and have a super full show. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Fox 16 Sports Director Courtney Mims, Trey Biddy from hogsports.com. Thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway and the shooter, Patrick Bradley. Thanks to Bet Saracen and Razorback Camper Sales and Nolan Souza. Thanks to Seth Boyd Insurance. See you Monday on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net. Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-sized specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
That's a really great question and a deep question, and we could probably go a lot of different directions with it. I think look where I came from. I came from a program that was a mid-major program that made itself into a major program, and I think that parity is great for the game, but things change, and I think once finances become part of it, there's going to be a breaking point for some of the lesser programs that just don't have the finances, and I think that's just a obvious statement. So there's lots of reasons I took the Arizona job, and one of them was kind of forecasting these changes happening, because right when I was getting the job, the NIL deal was rumored, and then it started in July, and I figured Arizona's a place that has a pretty strong, long basketball tradition, and they're going to be excited to invest in basketball, and we have. So I'm thankful for where I am, but I think that's a great question, and I don't have a great answer for you on how to fix it. So let's just leave it at that. But that's a great observation by you.
That is Arizona head coach Tommy Lloyd talking about the lack of mid-majors in the Sweet 16. Got Duke, St. John's. You got Michigan State, UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Houston, Tennessee, Iowa State, Alabama, Michigan, Purdue, Texas, Arkansas, Arizona. How about that? 6 from the Big Ten, 4 from the SEC, the rest from the ACC and Big 12, and the Big East. What do they call that now? Big East still? Big East.
Yeah.
As a basketball fan, I'm fine. Look, the first couple rounds to me is always about the mid-major, and when you have one that wins a second-round game or even here to go to the Elite Eight, it becomes a better, cool story. But to me, I want to see the best move on. And right now, the last 2 years, the best have been from the major conferences. And we've got some great matchups. I mean, Duke, St. John's. St. John's can beat Duke. Duke hasn't looked that good the first 2 games. UConn, Michigan State, great game. Iowa, Nebraska, I saw somebody said they're going to have extra security for that game. Iowa, Nebraska going to each other. They better be prepared. Illinois, Houston, that's an awesome game. Talk about offense versus defense. Houston can score, though. They can put up some points. Arkansas, Arizona, Texas,
and
Purdue.
They've been to 7 straight Sweet 16s.
Who's that?
Houston,
7 in a row. I didn't realize Tennessee, they're on their 5th straight. I think it was 5th straight Sweet 16, maybe 4th straight. They got Iowa State, Alabama, Michigan. If Alabama shoots like they did last night, for 4 more games, they could win a national championship. They shot unbelievable last night. That first half flurry they put on Texas Tech was impressive to watch. If you could repick, who would you have winning the national championship? Anybody change your mind?
Nah, still got Arizona.
I'm still going with Michigan. I am happy I picked Michigan State to beat Duke to go to the Final Four. I think Duke's gettable. Coming up in the third hour, we'll get Joe Clark.
Soccer fans, listen up. Experience Fayetteville, Arkansas is giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to see Club America take on Tigres in the Golden Clash, happening March 28th at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. In a FIFA year, international soccer in Fayetteville is something special, and you could be there. Stay tuned for your chance to win and experience the Golden Clash live.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Ever Special Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
Radio for Arkansas Sports Geeks by Arkansas Sports Geeks. All day, every day. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Parts of Burns Park will be closed this morning for a prescribed burn. Crews are scheduled to burn around 300 acres of the park. They will start at 9 o'clock this morning, and it's expected to last through the afternoon. Visitors will be rerouted during the burn. There are several areas that are going to be impacted. To find a map and more information, you can head to our website, krk.com. And our Blood Institute is hosting a blood drive today. People can come out to Pine Bluff to donate at Jefferson Regional Medical Center. It's going to be in the Hensley Conference Room from 9 to 2 p.m. Donors will also get a free t-shirt and a tote bag. And a warning from police about scammers during tax season. They say they're trying to steal your money and call by threatening arrests, warrants, or legal action against you. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says they won't request any kind of payment over the phone. If you get one of these, please hang up and report it. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KRK's Jessica Rockwell.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment presents Coach Nolan Richardson when he joins Drive Time Sports every week with Rollin' with Nolan. Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Bowen. Find them online at ametrucks.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We've got cooler, more spring-like weather on the way for today after a cold front moved through Sunday evening. It'll be a little bit breezy today with highs warming up into the mid to upper 60s with a mix of sun and clouds. Similar weather on the way for your Tuesday, but we will warm up again with highs back in the 80s by the middle of this week. I'm meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Pat Bradley joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports each week, courtesy of Razorback Camper Sales in Hot Springs. Celebrating 57 years in business, offering all new travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups at RV show prices. Explore their inventory in person or online at RazorbackCamperSales.com. Randy, Rick, and the Shooter on 103.7 The Buzz.
When you think CertaPro Painters, you probably think interior and exterior painting for homes and commercial properties, which we do beautifully. But did you know that we're more than just paint? CertaPro also provides expert carpentry, sheetrock repairs, deck and fence staining, and durable garage and patio concrete coatings. Whether you're refreshing your home, upgrading a commercial space, or restoring outdoor areas, we deliver professional results with the quality and service you expect. Call CertaPro Painters today or schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's certainty.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Even though the World Series is nearly a year away, we might as well crown the Los Angeles Dodgers champions right now. The defending champions are owned by folks who will spend any amount of money on any free agents they covet. As they just did again with Kyle Tucker. In contrast, Nepo baby Chris Ilitch, owner of the mediocre Detroit Tigers, might as well trade two-time Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal to L.A. right now because they're going to get him anyway. Cy. That's the great thing about Double B's. You don't have to have billions of dollars to get great quality for great value. Double B's is for the people, all the people. Arkansans serving Arkansans. That's who we are. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. The Big Rock Benton. It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton. We're going to take $11,000 off Grand Cherokees, and we've got the new Compass starting at just $27,995.
Jerry, it's Wrangler season. Tell them what we're going to do about those.
This year, Jeep has reduced their factory-based price by thousands. So we're starting new Jeep Wranglers at $34,999. So come see us at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton. The Big Rock Benton.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen, founded over a decade ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, roll-off dumpsters, and street sweepers. Proud to be Arkansas's only authorized dealer for New Way refuse trucks and Timco street sweepers. Your authorized dealer for Galfab roll-off and hook lift trucks. You can get parts and service for all makes and models with technicians traveling the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696. And manage your diabetes as easy as...
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz. Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-sized specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
Diamond Hogs took 2 of 3 from South Carolina over the weekend. Let's bring in Matt Jones, WholeHogSports.com, Razorbacks, or WholeHogSports.com, and Arkansas Democrat Gazette. What's up, Matt? How are you?
Hey, Wes. I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing well. It was funny. I was watching the game yesterday, and I was like, man, they got to get those bats going. And I saw a tweet that Arkansas scored more runs last week than anybody in college baseball. I was like, oh, okay. I guess they are starting to hit the ball a little better.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, you score 22 runs in a game. That's more than a lot of teams will score in a week. That plays a factor in it. They played Northern Colorado a couple of times last week, and they're not a real good team either. But, I mean, this has kind of been what we've seen with this team this year is, they'll go through 2 or 3 games where it looks like they're maybe turning a corner offensively, and then, might have a couple, 3 games where it seems like they've taken a step back. And I think that what's going to determine this team's kind of their ceiling is, which one of those paths become more prominent. Like, are they going to turn a corner and then keep turning a corner offensively, or is it going to be just kind of this, step forward, step back type deal? And, I think it's kind of yet to be seen how that's going to work out. But I will say, anytime you score 22 runs in a game or score, a bunch of runs in a game like they did on Friday night against South Carolina, I think it's kind of expected in baseball that the next couple of games, or at least maybe the next game, but maybe the next couple, especially when it's playing the same team, you might have a little bit of a letdown offensively. I think some of it's just kind of the rule of averages, and some of it is that, hey, you just beat this team's brains in, and you're going to be getting a competitive, spirited effort from them. And I thought that's what you saw from South Carolina. I would have expected that from South Carolina, regardless of whether or not Paul Maneri resigned Saturday morning like he did. And then I think, whenever he resigned and, they're playing hard for their interim head coach, Monty Lee, I just thought it was, a matter of the last 2 days of that series that Arkansas was playing a team that, felt like they had nothing to lose. They wanted to beat a top 5 team in their home ballpark. And, if it hadn't been for a 2-out error on Saturday, they may have done it.
Mm-hmm. Matt Jones with us, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. Encouraging things that you saw from the plate last week would be what? What was the most encouraging thing?
Well, I think what they're getting from their 8-9 spot in the order from T.J. Pompey and Nolan Souza is incredibly encouraging. Souza in 6 SEC games is batting .500 in league only, and he's somebody who's batting, I think, 196 going into conference play. And this is about the time last year where the coaches were telling me, hey, we think Nolan Souza's really coming on. We think that the trajectory is really high with him. They were telling me that about Ryder Helfrich, too. And, with Helfrich, you saw it. You saw how the season ended with him. And, he was just, on a roll there at the end of the season. And they kind of thought that Nolan Souza was on a similar path. And, it was about April 10th, 11th last year at Georgia where he tore up his shoulder and he didn't get to play anymore. So we're within about a 2-week radius of when that was happening last year. And I think you're seeing that with Souza again. He's putting really confident swings on the ball. He's hitting it to all fields. He's going to left field. He pulled one to right the other day, hit that home run to center. He looks really, really confident. So I think that, I think what you're seeing from him in the 9-hole and Pompey to a lesser extent in the 8-hole, of course, he had the big weekend against Mississippi State. You do that for the top of the order hitters, you're setting the plate for them. You're setting the table for them. And I think that that's a really encouraging sign that they're getting that from their 8-9 spot in the order. Ruiz is giving them some good at-bats in the leadoff position. Kozel and Helfrich continue to have good at-bats at 2 and 3. And so I think that 8, 9, 1, 2, 3 spot in the order is starting to become a tough out where it's getting hard for pitchers to navigate it. They just got to get a little bit more consistent there, and I think that their offensive production will continue to improve.
Did Pompey get his eyes checked? Did he go to the optometrist?
Yeah, he did, and I don't think they found anything from what I was told. But yes, they sent him there to see whether or not that was something that was causing the strikeouts early in the season. You do everything to see what's causing the swing and miss problems. They did that with Matt Goodhart in 2021. He got his eyes checked and ended up being an All-SEC player. They did that with Mahivo Aloy 2 years ago, and he ended up being an All-SEC player. And so I think if you've had that happen 3 times in your program, you say, well, maybe this is something you ought to have looked at. And it wasn't a problem with him. I just think with him, it's just he's done some things with the swing. He's flattened out his swing and did a lot of tee work in his own time a couple of weeks back, and it seems like it's starting to pay off some.
Matt Jones with this Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Matt, what's up with the power surge from the top of the lineup with Ruiz?
Yeah, he's a good hitter, and he's not the only one that we've seen this from. I think there's been a number of hitters who have transferred in here from other schools in the last, what I would just call during the transfer era, so like the last 5-6 years, where they come in here, and I think they do some things. I think a lot of it begins with the work they do in the strength program. They really like their strength coach, and I'm talking about the players and coaches too. His name's Hunter Bell. He's a true baseball strength coach. You'll hear Dave Van Horn say a lot of times, we're not trying to build a football player, we're trying to build a baseball player. And I've had a chance to sit down with Hunter Bell and listen to him talk about the, really detailed, specific work that he has for each player, and a lot of times it's based on their position. And you can tell the guy just really knows what the heck he's talking about. this is somebody who it's not going to surprise me if we look up in 10, 15 years and maybe he's running a strength program in Major League Baseball. I think he is that good in terms of being a baseball strength coach. He's a pretty young guy. It feels like the sky is the limit for him. But, we've seen a lot of these hitters come in here and, their power numbers improve. You saw it with Logan Maxwell. You saw it with Charles Davalin. You've seen it with a number of these hitters, even Vahiva Aloy. His power numbers got better. He got better as a power hitter while he was at Arkansas. And I think that's probably what you're seeing a little bit with Ruiz. It's he's putting a good swing on the ball, and he's gotten a lot stronger than he was when he got to campus back in August.
Speaking of Aloy, the younger brother, Kahia, I think it was Yes, I've watched so much basketball and baseball over the last 3 days. My days and events are, they're all blurred, Matt. Was it yesterday they pinch hit for Kahia Aloy kind of late in the game?
Yeah, what they did was they put a left-hander in to face the right-hander, Brandon Stone, and then South Carolina countered it, and they brought a left-hander in out of the bullpen. And that was Carter Rutenbar, who was the pinch hitter at that point. Kahio, he had a home run on Friday night, had like 450 feet. It's the longest home run that's been hit this year for Arkansas. But you look at, the last 2 or 3 weeks for him, it's not been real great at the plate. Like I pulled up his stats here, he was 0 for 2 on Sunday. He was 0 for 4 on Saturday. He was 1 for 5 with the one being the home run on Friday. Had a couple of hits during the Northern Colorado series. I think he only had one hit during the Mississippi State series. So he's been hitting the ball into the ground a lot. Like, this is somebody who we expect him to put it in the air and, really put a charge into the baseball. And he's spiking everything. And a couple of times it's turned out for the best. Like he hit one over the third baseman's head from Northern Colorado last week because he hit it 110 miles an hour into the ground. And that thing just bounced up off the grass and ended up being, I think, a 2-run hit for him. But, he doesn't look like the same hitter this year that he was last year. And I've wondered whether or not Carter Rutenbar, because of the way that he's been swinging the bat lately, is going to get some hits in that DH role if the matchups call for a left-handed bat, because I just don't think Aloy is really hitting that well. He just doesn't look nearly as confident as he did this time a year ago.
Is he pool happy?
Bubba Carpenter would be the one to talk to about this. He tried to explain it to me, and I tell you, he gets so down in the weeds. He talks a lot about, though, how the knob and the knee are connected, and he can break it down and he can show you exactly what's going on. But it's something about what he's doing with his knee, from what Bubba tells me, in terms of it's just kind of out of alignment right now. His swing is, and that happens with players. I mean, if we were talking about T.J. Pompey 3 weeks ago, we probably would have said that his swing was totally broken, and now look at him, he's like their second best hitter in SEC play. And so it can turn around quickly. And so you never give up on a player. You keep working with them. You do everything you can, to make it better. A lot of people will tell you that a hitting coach is, half hitting coach and half psychiatrist sometimes, in terms of just trying to keep their players in the right headspace. But yeah, it looks to me like over the last 3 or 4 weeks, there's been something going on with his swing that just doesn't look right. And again, you listen to baseball people, and I even asked Dave Van Horn about it a couple of weeks ago, I think after the Stetson series, and he talked about, he's flying open and doing some things that were really causing him trouble last year that they thought they had fixed, and now it's starting to become a problem with him again.
Matt Jones with us on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline. Matt, what do we need to know about Florida?
Well, they got no hit last Friday, and they almost got no hit the Friday before that by South Carolina, the same South Carolina pitcher who Arkansas had a home run derby against last Friday night. So, yeah, I don't know that their offense is real good. They've got really good pitching. Like Friday night, you'll see Liam Peterson, who I think is one of the best pitchers in the SEC. I think their Saturday guy is awfully good, too. But, they got swept at Alabama last weekend. And there was a video late in that game where Kevin O'Sullivan's just kind of off to the side of the dugout, and it is as bizarre a video, I think, as I've ever seen of a head coach, where it just looks like just totally distant from what the game's going on. And Bubba and I were having a conversation about this morning on our podcast, and I said, and he said, you'd never see that from Dave Van Horn. I said, you'd never see it from Mike Bianco. You'd never see it from Tim Corbin. You'd never see it from all these Jay Johnson, these great coaches that are in the SEC. It just, O'Sullivan had something go on in the fall where he had to step away from the program. And, maybe I'm wrong about this, but it just feels like maybe we're coming near the end of the O'Sullivan era in Florida. And that may be easy to say because he's been there for 20 years. But it just seems like something's awfully off at Florida right now. And for them to get swept at Alabama, I thought that was the most surprising result of the weekend because I don't think Alabama's a bad team, but I certainly don't think they're a team in the SEC that ought to be sweeping Florida either, even if the games were in Tuscaloosa.
Seems like this could be the year of pitching in the SEC. There are a lot of good pitchers out there in the SEC, and I know that's like breaking news or anything, but still, it just seems like that's the strength of the SEC this year.
Well, there's a lot of good staffs this year. Like, Texas is good, and Auburn may be the best pitching staff in the league, and Texas A&M's pitching really well. Arkansas's pitching really well. I think that's kind of the story is there's a lot of prospects in the league. You're going to see several of them this weekend with Gackle and Peterson and Hunter Dietz, and Florida's going to have a couple of guys coming out of the bullpen throwing 100, 102. But there's just a lot of depth, I think, on a lot of these staffs, and I think that's what's kind of stood out to me so far.
4-2 is the leader, and how many? Is there 7 teams tied for first for 4-2?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's 7 teams. I think I wrote that yesterday. There's 7 teams that are 4-2 in the league. Of course, Arkansas is one of them. Oklahoma's one of them. Oklahoma's a good team this year, y'all. I saw them in Arlington, and I was really impressed with them. Mississippi State, they left here. They swept Vanderbilt down in Starkville over the weekend. Texas is 4-2. Kentucky's 4-2. Georgia's 4-2. Auburn's 4-2. So it's it's not. It's some of your usual suspects, but what I think is really interesting in there is that Arkansas is really the only team among that group of teams, and maybe Georgia to a lesser extent, who's really been in championship discussion. And that doesn't mean that any of those 7 are going to be the teams that win the title this early in the season. But it kind of feels like the SEC has been turned on its ear a little bit this year, where some of the teams that you expect to really be your challengers are not necessarily looking like they're going to be challengers this year. We talked about LSU last week. I think they're 2-4 in the SEC. And Vanderbilt got swept at Mississippi State. I think they're 2-4. Tennessee, they certainly don't look like the same team now that Tony Vitello's gone. They're one of the lowest scoring teams in the SEC. And when was the last time you said that about Tennessee? And we talked about Florida and some of the struggles they've had. So it's going to be interesting here the next couple of weeks. I think that it's so early that there's a lot of that separation. There's like 11 teams that are either 4-2 or 3-3 right now. And the next couple of weeks, I think, are going to tell us a lot about who are the teams that are separating themselves from the pack and going to be the real challengers in the SEC. And I would put Arkansas, I think the next couple of weeks for them are going to be, really key. Are they able to beat Florida this weekend at Baum Walker Stadium? What happens when they go to Auburn next week? I think Auburn might be the most challenging series that they have all year because it's there. Auburn can really pitch. I think Auburn is really good. So I think these next 2 weeks are going to tell us a lot about Arkansas and whether or not it can be in the conversation to challenge for an SEC title this year. I would say based on what I've seen right now, it would surprise me a little bit if they're in the, if they're going to win the title. But like I've said on here before, if you can pitch and you can play defense, it doesn't take a whole lot to, win games. I mean, Texas, that was their whole MO last year. They could pitch, they could play defense. They're the best pitching team in the league. They were the best defensive team in the league during conference play. And they won 22 games, and they won the league by 2 games, and they were awfully good. So I think that there is a path there for Arkansas. It's just I need to see it against some good teams like Florida and Auburn the next couple of weeks, and Auburn more so than Florida.
Great stuff. Thank you, Matt. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks. Matt Jones on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. Got Joe Klein in the studio. What's up, Joe?
Hey, guys. How are you?
I'm good.
Doing good.
Yeah, we've got everything out of the way, so it's just Joe Klein for the next 35 minutes.
There we go. That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah, always.
Can't believe you didn't just tell Matt you had to leave, man. I was here.
Well, I had a couple more questions, but I was like, you know what? That's good enough. We got Joe here, so let's move on. Got to be pretty happy after the first weekend with Arkansas?
Oh, yeah, man. Survive in advance. I mean, there's no style points now. You want to be playing your best and all that, but get the W and move on. Find a way to get the W and move on. And, again, I knew when I saw 12-point spread on High Point, I was like, I had my brother in Philly, he was like, 12 points? He goes, what do you think about that? I was like, take the points because we're not – I said, it's going to be they can score. They could get up and down. They're going to play – we're going to play the way they like to play, and that's going to benefit them, and they're going to be able to score some points. And but I knew we'd be able to score a lot of points. So, get the W, move on.
You have any worries about Arkansas's defense? We've seen it all season, and it hasn't been good. And as you've talked about many times, all you need is 20 minutes of good defense.
Yeah.
Give us half a game of that. And at this point, tournament play, anything goes. Any concern with it?
Yeah, you're looking at Arizona, and the thing that jumps out, man, you got a defensive rebound. That just, when you watch even Utah State game, you're sitting there going, big boy was getting it done, and the other young kid is
Post kid.
Yeah, he's a stud too, and so that that just kind of, when you've been watching Arkansas all year, that kind of just jumps at you real quick, and so that again, they don't have to out rebound them or dominate them on the glass, but it just cannot be, they can't get obliterated. Because you can't overcome that. They can't get 15 to 20, offensive rebounds and get second chance opportunity after second, because they're not a great three-point shooting team. But hell, if you get 4 shots every time down, you make one, you're going to be okay. So that's what they got. That if I said one thing, if there was one thing, that would be it. And again, like Joe just said, their strength is offense. Every team has strengths and weaknesses, and so they hang their hat on offense. And they're very good at it, and they hang their hat on it. Okay, but and that's what they need to do. They need to get, the higher the scoring this game is, the better for us. So if it's in the 90s, it's going to be a good day. If it's in the 80s, 50-50. And you start, in my opinion, getting out of that, and it goes the other way. So I think if you get a game in the 80s and 90s, it's telling you Arkansas is making some shots. They got a good flow and got the tempo of the game going. As you know, you're getting up and down the floor. Our bigs are not, physical, but they can run. So you can get them going up and down the floor, where their big boys can't keep up. So they're down there, getting lobs, getting offensive rebounds and break situations and putting them back in before those other guys can catch up with them. So I think we have some advantages from that standpoint. Just really don't want to see a grinded out game. It's strange things happen in the, hell, we're sitting here talking about it may end up being 62-60. Strange things happen in this tournament as far as games going, but I sure would like to see that thing in the 90s. I can tell you that.
Arizona had 16 offensive rebounds last night.
Yeah.
Their big guy, Krivas, had 9. 9 offensive rebounds, 14 in all.
We got to run that big boy.
Yeah.
We got to run him. If I was going to talk to Ewing and Pringle and Brazil, I'd be like, when we get that ball, your butt better be sprinting. And I said, if you can only go 4 times, get a hand, we'll run you in and out like a revolving door, But when you're in there, run him. And so, that would be huge if we again get the tempo up.
Good thing about Arizona, they played 7 guys last night, basically. An eighth guy came in for 3 minutes, but they played 7 guys.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I'm not gonna lie to you, Wes. like 7 is low to me. I'm a guy a little probably on the other end of the spectrum. I'd like to have 9, but 6 freaks me out.
Right.
Okay, 7 I can handle, but 6 I'm like, I don't like that at all. I don't like anything to do with that. You can tell me whatever the hell you want to tell me about it. Oh, I think it's BS. 6 is not enough, And so I'm glad. I think Pringle will be back full speed, and they definitely need him.
Mm-hmm. Joe, they had 7 available, but Isaiah Sealy is the wild card, the factor there, X factor, where we've seen him play good in spurts, but we haven't seen a lot of him. And then in tournament play, unless you just need him, there's probably not a lot of trust there.
Yeah, that's a tough, put a kid, obviously, Cal has had his 8, and, he didn't want to, Sealy couldn't crack that or get inside that for whatever reason. And he's young, practice habits. He's got to learn. And so hopefully he's learning those things. But, yeah, that'd be hard. If you got to put him in, you got to put him in. But that's it's a tough position to put him into, too. That's a big stage for a kid who hadn't been seeing a lot of action.
Yeah, you need to be confident, and he didn't look very confident when he came in.
Yeah.
And I'm not critiquing.
Yeah, no,
it's understandable.
Right, it's tough. It's tough.
We'll take a break. More with Joe Klein when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Hi, I'm Trey Reed from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, inviting you to join me every Wednesday morning for the latest news from the great outdoors. It's brought to you by Arts Marine in North Little Rock, now under new ownership, but with the same familiar faces and incredible service you've known for years, plus the area's best selection of boating parts and supplies.
This is Sports Center.
After clubbing South Carolina in Friday's series opener, then pulling Saturday's game out in extra innings, the number 7 Arkansas baseball team fell 9-4 in the series finale Sunday. South Carolina scored its 9 runs on 12 hits. They were aided by 4 walks. Nolan Souza led the Razorbacks offensively, going 3 for 4 with a home run. Ryder Helfrich also hit a home run, finishing 2 for 5. The Hogs return to Baumwalker Stadium tomorrow when they take on UCA at 6 o'clock. Speaking of UCA, they pulled off a rally with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They beat Bellarmine 8-7. The Little Rock Trojans scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They stunned Tennessee Tech 11-10. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at ArkansasRestorationExperts.com. Rainbow Restoration, where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-38 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
On these acres, weekends aren't a break. When the ground fights back, the John Deere 4044M leans in. Because it's built like the people who run it. Tough enough to stay one more hour. Strong enough to finish the job. Take more than $7,000 off or pay $507 per month at 0% for 84 months at Greenway. Learn more at gogreenway.com. Some restrictions apply. See Greenway for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2026.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Nick Gennardi, Daniel Vickers, or Becky Bradley in Sherwood today.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed.
Wes Moore, Joe Franklin, Joe Klein. It is Out of Bounds. Been a fun day, a fun Monday, recapping a couple of Razorback victories. And
Good
what
weekend. Fun
Thursday,
weekend.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This was a great opening weekend. I saw the ratings for Thursday were the best ever, TV-wise. I got to think all weekend they're going to be just setting all kinds of records. Let's bring in Savage real quick. What's up, Savage?
What's going on, fellas? Hey, Joe, I got a little question for you. You know, looking at the coach from Connecticut and the coach from UCLA, I mean, it kind of looks like taking that away from the Bobby Knight kind of school of thinking.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the two coaches and how they run their programs? And I'll get off and appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know the inner workings of them. I'm not a big fan of the sideline stuff. I mean, everybody has their style, and again, it's how you relate with the players. That if you have a bunch of kids that can, handle Cronin, or the thing I've heard about Bobby Hurley is that he's a psychopath during the game and a teddy bear. Otherwise, he goes to another dimension when the game starts. So, both are very good coaches. Cronin really comes across surly, and I'm not into all that. But I mean, again, he just seems very upset all the time and unhappy, and. It's just like, dude, man, you're doing okay, man. You're coaching basketball, making pretty good, jack. And you're at a place, again, you're not probably getting the resources that other people are getting, but you're ahead of most programs. A lot of coaches would kill to have your problems. So again. I don't know. I mean, I try to be a half full guy, and again, I don't know him, so I probably shouldn't be saying any of this. He comes across as a half empty guy, So, nothing's ever great or perfect, and I watch him go at his players sometimes. It's pretty funny, But again, as a player, you pick and choose, and. Like I played for Coach Knight, and, I grew up and Coach Sutton, who were hard guys, but I grew up with a Marine as my father. So, I looked at them, a 6'8" Marine who fought in World War II. So Bobby Knight and Coach Sutton, with all due respect, put no fear in me whatsoever. Bob Klein put a lot of fear in me.
You were the perfect recruit for those guys.
I was broke. Okay, they were not. They were not I was not intimidated one bit by either one of them. Now I respected them, and as my dad would, if I wouldn't have respected him, I knew to respect him because that's when Bob Klein would come into the picture. If I didn't, so again, with all different strokes for different folks. Some players can handle it, some can't, and I think the one thing that both of them do, Bobby Hurley and Nick Cronin, do very well is they're very transparent. I mean, they don't trick you. They don't love you up, and then you come there and they, start going at you. I think they're very transparent, which is perfect. That's what a good coach. That's why they're successful. Kids understand. You go here. This is how it's going to be, and if you can't deal with it, then you might want to go look somewhere else. So I have great respect for them from that standpoint.
Did you get your feelings hurt when Darius Acuff passed you and moved you down to number 3 on the single-season scoring list?
I did. I turned in the Nebraska-Vanderbilt game. I refused to watch anymore.
Well, you missed a heck of a show then on against High Point.
All my kids, I didn't see it. I guess there was a graphic that came up during the game, and everybody started sending me this graphic, and I was like, all right, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still relevant.
Did you even know you were number 2 on the list until he passed you? Now you're number 3?
I'd had a lot of people tell me. So, but it's not something like every year when the program guide comes out. I don't skip,
highlight it.
I don't skip to the go. Oh, I'm still there.
Well, that's a great. You hear guys saying that's a great thing about my record getting broken. People are now recognizing and remember what I did way back when.
I'm happy for him, man. Dude's a player. I'm glad he broke it. Just, if my 3-point shots would have counted for 3-pointers, it'd been a little harder to break because I had a bunch of 3-pointers.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
As far as y'all know,
Yeah.
Y'all go to the VHS. Go pull out the old VHS and beta. See if you can look it up.
How many defensive rebounds does Malik Ewan and Trevin Brazile need to combine and throw in Nick Pringle? Because I'm with you. I do think he plays Thursday night.
For all 3 of them?
Yeah.
I'd love to see 20.
I was going to say 25.
Yeah, 20 to 25.
Because I think Brazile can get 10. We've seen that. He's a good defensive rebounder. Ewan is coming along. He had 9 defensive rebounds against High Point. And then I think you get Pringle, get you 5. That's 25.
Yeah. I think Pringle will be very good in this game. I think he'll be locked in. Again, I'm not expecting him to dominate anything, but I would be surprised if he wasn't effective. Maybe not. You won't look at his stats and go, oh my gosh, but I think he could be an effective player for 15 minutes in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and give Ewan a little bit of a break. Yeah. And so he's not – Malik Ewan played 36 minutes the other night.
Right.
That's a lot for a big guy.
Yeah.
When you talked about the key to the game, they're going to – Arizona's got an offensive rebound. Arkansas's got to score. To me, their guards have to outplay the Arizona guards.
You got to get the tempo up. I just think us in the open floor is going to give us an advantage. Acuff's going to get a lot of attention, especially in the half court. It's going to be harder. Not that he can't, but this is a bigger team. Scoring in the lane on a Hawaii and High Point is going to be a little the hand challenging his shot is going to be 6 to 8 inches higher than it's been, and so there's going to be it's going to be harder in a half court set because they're a well coached team for him to get in there and get all the way to the rim. He can still do it. He's a great player, but again, I like him in space. I like Malik Thomas in space. I like Billy Richmond in space. In transition, I love Brazile flying and Ewan flying and getting those guys, Wagner and all those guys out in space to where they can attack that size. They're not going to be as nimble, be able to stay in front of them when it's coming at them. You let them get down there and get set and get everybody where they're supposed to be defensively, it'll be harder. But if you can get them scrambling and in transition defense, I think it would bode well for us if that can happen.
I think it was smart for Arkansas to stay out there. And
I do. You would have got home. You would have got back home. I mean, you wouldn't have got out of Portland till, if you were lucky, you would have been taken off at 12:30 at night. You know, that game was late, so you're losing an hour. So that's you lose an hour or 2 hours.
2.
Yeah, so that's 2:30. So you're landing in Fayetteville at 7. You're getting, yeah, you know, and then you're leaving Tuesday. So, yeah, I mean, it made absolute no sense to come back. That would have been that's just stuff that you know, again, you're flying private, you got room, you can sleep. I mean, it's not as bad, but it's still the time difference and things like that. There is jet lag is real, and so it just makes it easier, and made no sense to come back.
Did they look tired or slower to you Saturday against High Point? Fatigued?
You know, they really didn't. I mean, I was worried because I think everybody knew that it was going to be a up and down game, and it was going to have a hell of a pace to it. And again, you start going 6 dudes, man. You know, there were a couple times I thought the bigs, Ewan and Brazil, looked a little, you know, in transition, looked a little tired. Either way, offense to defense, defense to offense. I thought they looked a little fatigued, but I thought Acuff, Thomas, Billy Richmond, Wagner. I mean, I thought they looked, you know, I didn't see any fatigue in them whatsoever.
I was looking at Arizona's 2 losses, and they were back-to-back. 2 losses all year. Kansas.
Yeah, they did that without Peterson. And again, what was the score of that game?
82-78.
80. See that I remember the kid. What's his name? The St. Bonaventure transfer, number 14 for Kansas. But I mean, he just
Melvin Council.
Yeah, he was flying up and down that floor.
He had 23.
Yeah, he got up and down the floor. The kid Wright had a big game for him. The transfer from Illinois, I believe he's
Trey Wright.
Yeah, I think he had a good, you know, and those are wing guys, and you know, those are kind of.
Badunga had 23 also.
Yeah. And again, he is not a big physical center. He's bouncy.
He had 6 offensive rebounds.
He's a bouncy, slashing, 230, 240, you know, long, kind of what we got.
Sounds, Trevor Brazil.
So again, but again, I think the main thing you hear there is 80. They got that game into the 80s. And again, not that Arizona had 78. So I mean, I'm not saying Arizona can't score, but again, I just think the bigger the number for us, the better the results.
They didn't shoot. Kansas had more free throws attempted than Arizona, and that's going to be key because Arizona made a living at the free throw line last night.
Well, and again, I remember watching that game, the Kansas-Arizona game. They got, you know, they were attacking in transition. They were getting them in trouble, and they were getting shots and getting things in transition and on the run. And again, that is, to me, you know, I think, you know, not getting abused on the glass, giving up a bunch of offensive rebounds is key. I would say that's one, but 1A is transition offense. Get that thing out, run them. Run those big boys.
Texas Tech beat them the next game, 78-75. That was at Arizona, so that was a little bit of a surprise. But J.T. Toppin, this was in overtime. J.T. Toppin had 31 points, 7 offensive rebounds. Tech had 12 offensive rebounds and made 11 threes in that game.
No, I mean, Arizona's a good team, but I mean, if we play good, we'll be in the game. And if we're making shots, and you know, I mean, we've had some games this year where we've been really good, and if we have one of those games, we'll be moving on for sure. But again, I would love to see that. I would love to see 85. I just think if we get 85, that's a tough number for Arizona to get.
How But this, in that Texas Tech-Arizona game, Arizona at home, I'm sure they got a little home cooking. 23 of 31 from the free throw line. Texas Tech was 13 of 19. So Arizona made more free throws than Texas Tech even took.
Well, and they're an inside-out team. So there lies a problem there that needs another problem. You got to, they want to run their offense. They're going to post people. They're going to throw the ball into the post. I mean, they're going to cut and move. They're going to run some sets and do some things. And again, our post defense has got to be okay. I mean, we can't just get, just have guys posting up 2 feet from the basket and us trying to get around them and getting a foul and getting out of position and all these things. And then when they miss it, they get the offensive rebound and put it in. Those, that's probably the thing that worries me the most.
We'll take our final break. We'll come back and finish this up when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Burroughs and Mr. Frank's is a long-standing, iconic luxury eyewear shop in the Heights. They are family-owned and operated opticians that feature high-end designer eyewear that you can't find anywhere else. And when I talk about big-time brands, listen to this. Cartier, Gucci, Salt & State Optical. Plus, they have all their lenses from high-tech lens crafters, Zeiss. They make lenses for cameras, telescopes, microscopes, and yes, glasses. Burroughs brings a family atmosphere and super service to take care of everything. Find them at 5901 R Street in the Heights.
Mike Rowe here with a name everyone should know. Groundworks. The foundation and crawl space repair experts are coming soon to Little Rock. So if you've got a musty crawl space or cracks in your walls, these are the guys to call. And right now, Groundworks is hiring for all positions. If you're looking for a career, Groundworks is the place to do it. You can go from installer to foreman in under a year and become an owner of the company you work for. Apply now at groundworks.com/careers.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. March 25th, Simmons Bank Arena. The lights go down one final time. Tickets are on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Welcome to Moe's. Everyone knows that coming into Moe's for our Mo Monday special is the best deal in burritos. But what about those other 6 days? Well, let me introduce the new Mo Value Meal. Junior burrito, side of queso, chips, salsa, and a fountain drink for only $9.99. And the best part? It's available all day, every day at Moe's Southwest Grill. Now here's my daughter Andy Kate with a special reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
Gear up for spring with the Pro Sales event at Cabot Outdoors in Cabot. 20% off Hustler commercial mowers. From the X1 and X Rides, Surfer X, Trim Star through Hustlers, Super Z. Cabot Outdoors has you covered so you can cover more ground. Not only can you save 20% at Cabot Outdoors, but they'll take care of you for years to come with their excellent service department. Shop now and save with Hustler and Cabot Outdoors. 901 South Pine Cabot or CabotOutdoors.com.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me
smoking out the window. Must to spend 45,000 up in Tiffany's.
Back at it, Out of Bounds, one last segment. We'll wrap this thing up and get the guys in here from Drive Time Sports. Let's see. Oh, David hung up. Sorry about that, David. I had to take that break real quick. Got Joe Klein hanging out with us as Arkansas gets ready to take on Arizona Thursday night. Acuff, the best player in the country? Does he need to be in the conversation? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, you can make an argument. I mean, he's one of three. You know, DeBonza, Acuff, and Boozer. I think those are the three clear guys. But, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. The kid from Houston's good, Fleming, and, Peterson's a good player at Kansas. There's a bunch of really, really good freshmen. But I think he's been very consistent all year with his pass, just his whole, like, Boozer, DeBonza, and him have been the ones that, every game.
I told Trey was in here earlier, and I think Acuff kind of got lost in the shuffle with all the great freshmen in this class until he hit 49 on Alabama, and he kind of got on that national scene. They started paying attention, and he's just gotten, 30, he's just been doing it, and then 36 in the tournament opened even more eyes.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it on the biggest stage at the biggest times, and that's what you got to do. Duke and not so much DeBonza, but, they're on TV every night. I mean, their exposure, not that, Arkansas wasn't on every night, but they just seem to be, ESPN, Monday night or, just prime time all year long. And, again, he's performed. I mean, Boozer's been a stud.
Tanner and Conway's got a question. Arizona shot 72 free throws in their first two NCAA tournament games. They love to initiate contact and get fouled. How do we play defense and not foul out with a short bench?
Position. It's like I've said to you 10,000 times. You watch people who get in foul trouble, it's because they're late to the party. Somebody cuts across their face. You're standing and watching, and all of a sudden it's, oh, crap. The guy's sitting in my lap, and I'm trying to get around him, so I start grabbing and, I'm not down ready, and the ball's thrown to my guy, and he takes off driving, and what do? I put my hands out and put my hands on his body and get a foul. So just, an old basketball saying that you say over and over and over again in practice and during games, you got to be down and ready. Down and ready. Down and ready. See the man, see the ball. Don't get surprised. Fouls come when you're not ready defensively, and you get surprised and you try to make up with it, and usually that means you're grabbing with your hands, and that's a foul.
Arkansas's bigs love to block shots. And so many times when you leave your guy to go block a shot, then the help defense comes back, and they're out of position. And is this a game where maybe you say, guys, you're going to play some defense and not have penetration because got to stay in contact with this big dude and not leave him.
You start leaving him and trying to block the shot, you better get it because you're giving him a
layup
avenue to just go stand right in front of the rim. And he's a big dude with good hands. So, penetration kills. It's always been that way. Back when we played, it was through the post. You played through the post, but it still was penetration. Now it's dribble penetration, trying to get that ball screen, downhill drive, and then spraying the ball out, trying to get two to guard one, trying to get two to guard one. That's what all offenses try to do. In some way, you're trying to get two guys to converge on one guy, and then hopefully your guy can make the right decision. And our guy makes the right decision.
Going to be a busy weekend at Corky's. And you got some good stuff tonight.
Yeah, man. We got our stuff is, it's great value. I mean, that's the thing we sell over and over and over again. And we got more than barbecue, fish, shrimp is outstanding, wraps, salads, and then catering, party rooms, all at extremely affordable prices. Just as good as anybody in town, and the price is better. So come watch a game, have a $2 draft, find that somewhere. Hey, you won't get that. You can't do that at home, Joe.
No. Best in town.
Joe, thank you. We appreciate you coming up. Have a great week. We got to run.